crushed in the dark.
Oh, what's going on, everyone? Welcome back to Lost in the Dark podcast. Very excited to have you here tonight. So this episode that you're about to see, episode 170, with one of my best buddies, Jordan Jackson. This was the first episode actually recorded after the announcement of the passing of Alexi Leho. What a child. So yeah, we do talk about that a little bit, but you guys saw the last episode was our tribute to him, which was recorded on the same day that it was announced. So Jordan and I talk about that a little bit. We talk about some of the recent fucked up events that happened down at the Capitol for a minute, and then we get into what I've been wanting to talk to him about for months now, all this crazy fucking UFO news and stuff that's been coming out for so long now. So we finally get into that, and I tell you what, man, it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun. This was I needed this pretty bad. And we just let loose, and we even found, there is one part, disclaimer, there is one part about it's like 3.5 hours long. At like 3 hours it cuts out for a second. I didn't know it had cut out because I didn't know it would stop, it automatically stops recording after 3 hours. I didn't know that. So yeah, there is a quick second there, but then it comes right back in. So but yeah, I just wanted to jump in here. Thank you all for checking this episode out. Honestly, this one means the world to me. This guy's just I don't know. He's like my best friend in the world. And driving around back in the day when we were in college together and stuff and having the conversations that we did, those are the conversations. That's why I started this podcast. It's because I wanted to capture conversations like that. And this is definitely one of those conversations. So this one, this was a really, I love this episode. I absolutely love this episode to death. So yeah, man. Jordan, he is the yin to my yang. He means the world to me. We are opposites, but we fit together like a puzzle, and opposites in a lot of ways. But yeah, we've been best friends for longer than anyone I know besides Preston, who I've known since birth. So, yeah. That's all I got. That's all I got for this intro, everybody. I hope you fucking enjoy this episode. Here he is, my best friend Jordan. Love you, buddy. Thanks for being on. Welcome back to the podcast. As you all can see, we are not in the normal studio tonight. We are in Jordan's new humble abode. Finally moved into your new house. What? End of October?
Yeah, October 24th.
I've been trying to. This whole time. There we go. This whole time you've only been. I think you've only been on the podcast once. All during pandemic.
Yeah.
One of the very first video episodes, actually. But for me, this is a weird one. It feels good, don't get me wrong, but I do feel weird. I've had a really bad week. I don't know if you heard, but the lead singer and guitarist of Children of Bodom died.
Yeah, I did hear that. I saw that on your Facebook.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if you were still on Facebook.
Every now and again.
And I fucking, that happened on Monday. Well, we found out about it on Monday. Apparently it actually happened like sometime last week. And it has been a rough week. I've not been able to do very much besides just like sit around and think about him. You saw him at least once with me. I know that. And I think it was the Mayhem Festival we went to. Yes, it was. Yes, it was. Yep. The Rob Zombie Mayhem Festival. And fuck, dude. Like, we used to drive around listening to Bodom all the time. Like, they were one of our bands. And it was like last night. I was all fucked up downstairs listening to music. And I was all sad. Just to give you an idea of how sad I was last night, I was listening to Rent. Like, come on. And but I thought about you. And I was like, man, I wish Jordan were here with me right now, just kind of like singing.
Listening to Rent.
Yep, it was bad. It was a dark place. But yeah, so this is the first time I've actually been on the microphone since then.
Wow.
Since Monday, because Monday night, it's either gonna come out. You and I are sitting here right now. It's Friday. This episode will come out sometime early next week, and either tonight or tomorrow, the tribute episode is gonna come out, because on Monday Aaron came over. He was gonna come over anyway because we were gonna finalize our album of the year list, and then we found out about that, and I was like, dude, I just need to like, what if we just sit down on the microphones for like a half hour just so I can like let this shit out? And he's like, all right. Ended up being a 2.5 hour episode.
Yeah, just half an hour.
I always say, let's just do it real quick, and it's always 2.5 hours, like every fucking time. So we ended up just going off, and then last night I put together a nice little. I had an idea, a nice little button at the end of the episode. Everybody will have seen it by now, but I had one of the things that's been helping me is all my old cell phone footage of seeing them, and so I spent a couple hours last night like stringing together little clips of anything I could find that I took, you know, and I threw that in the video too. I think it's pretty cool. How's your week been?
Long. Not quite the same effect for me as your week has been. Just a long week working away.
Fuck. Yeah, I've been excited though to do this for a while. I've been wanting to record here in your new house. I think it's cool. I love this place, and I know you do too. So that's awesome. And you got a new puppy.
And a new puppy.
Fuck, we should get them. We'll get them in here at the end, because Henry's been on the show before.
Yeah, it doesn't take much to get them going. Anyway.
No. Oh, they're awesome. Oh God, what do you fucking? I haven't really talked to you much. This is like the first time I think I've talked to you this week. Yeah, so, you know, what a fucked up way to start 2021. We got fucking the death of the greatest modern guitar player in the world. And apparently we're about to be in civil war.
Yeah.
What?
It's been coming.
Like, I was at work when all that started going down. And so I was just kind of like, because when I go to work, I immediately come home and shower. And then by that time, it's 6-7 o'clock at night. By then I'm going to eat a little bit of food, watch some YouTube, and then probably just go downstairs and listen to music. So I wasn't like, I'm not really that plugged in unless it's all over my Facebook or something.
Which it's not.
Which it was. Yeah. And so like all that was going on and I was completely oblivious for most of the day. What the fuck, dude?
Yeah, I worked through the entire like build up to it and ongoing issue. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think that everyone just, the whole mentality of blaming the year of 2020 is what's leading to this massive disconnect with what's going on right now. Everyone blamed 2020, it was a new year, but nothing's changed.
Right.
It's still the same world that we live in, everything's still falling apart around us.
It's December 40th, 2020.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah.
So, it's, yeah. Like, I usually don't talk about that kind of shit on the show just because I only like to talk about things that I like. You know, that's the whole point of the show. But that one kind of got me. Like, that, like...
I don't know, I like 2020.
It's just... Ugh, I fucking hate 2020. But, that one... Like, I don't... I just can't really, like, wrap my head around how that happened. You know? Like, so apparently, if you have enough people, you can just do that?
Anywhere.
Yeah. And not get mowed down? Like, I was under the impression if anybody were to try to break into a Capitol building, they would be shot on sight.
Yeah, like a group of individuals trying to get into the Capitol building with malicious intent would probably be shot down on sight.
You would think?
Yeah.
You would think.
A small group of people.
Oh, a small group.
Yeah.
You're saying so it's the size of the group.
It's 100% the size of the group. If it's, 10 or less people, that's a group of domestic terrorists who tried to take the Capitol building.
But if it's 10 or more, then what do you call it?
Who are all dead. It's probably a different number than just 10, but when you have hundreds of citizens protesting and storming into the Capitol under the guise of protest, you can't really mow down unarmed and partially armed U.S. citizens.
Well, yeah, that's the thing, is a lot of them were armed. It was now long. It devolved from protest to riot very quickly. There was violence. They were breaking things. That's all illegal, right? Like they're still doing things with malicious intent.
But you can't gun down. You can't gun down hundreds of U.S. Citizens.
I was just under the impression that that's what would happen if someone were to try to do that.
If someone were, yeah.
Right.
Yeah, if a small group of people were to try to do something maliciously, it would have been responded with a lot more force.
I think there should have been more force. I don't understand. Like, oh shit. Like they certainly made quick work of that security. Like, Jesus. Thought we had better security. One time I got kicked out of a fucking park because I was accidentally there too long, and when I tried to leave, the gate was locked. So I had to, call the park guy, and he was fucking more on it than these people were. He was up my ass. He was like, I know you were sneaking around. I was like, no, seriously. I fucking just didn't know that the park closed at a certain time. It was getting dark. I was like, all right, let's go.
And either way, just let me out.
Yeah, I'll leave. I'm trying to leave.
Your gate's blocking me from leaving.
Yeah, I don't know.
No, it's
embarrassing.
You can't have a mob of hundreds of U.S. citizens try to gain access to something, and nothing's prepared for that. Nothing's prepared to peacefully handle that situation. You need that's why in East Lansing during game day Saturdays we have mob control police out on horses ready to deal with large numbers of people who are couch burning, rioting, and upset about shit.
Yep.
They were ready to deal with protesters outside, but that's not what the Capitol building is set up for.
That's the other thing, is this whole thing, the whole fucking thing was a Trump rally, and he told them walk down there and show strength. So they did. And he's like, I'll be there with you, as he scurried off like a little pussy-ass bitch back to the fucking White House and watched it all on TV.
He hasn't said anything on Twitter since then.
He's been banned for 6 weeks or something like that. Off all social media, Twitter, Facebook, because he was tweeting shit that was inciting violence. I was under the impression you incite violence standing up in front of a bunch of people with a microphone, you go to jail. Isn't that what happened to fucking Fred Durst at Lollapalooza in 1999?
Oh no, is that what happened?
I think. I don't know. It's just, that really bad. So yeah, what a fucked up way to get things kicked off. But I hadn't spoken to you since that happened, so I just kind of figured I'd ask you about it. But really,
I'm not political.
No, neither. I mean, neither am I. It's just that's kind of a different level. That's history. We've never seen anything like that in this country.
We haven't seen anything that's been going on
for the last
I know.
Since
March.
Yeah,
Since January. Since when did Trump get elected?
Either 1 or 15 years ago. I can't really tell.
I mean, the jury's still out on this whole virus is just a made-up construct to remove Trump from office.
No.
Yeah, 100%.
No, this could have been the exact... I mean, if just to play along, I don't actually think that. But if it were to...
It kind of thinks that.
If it were to, they would...
It was a good idea.
No, it was a bad idea, because it ended... If that was a plan, just to have fun. If that was a plan, it ended up being a good idea because it ended up making him look really bad. However, motherfuckers, it did provide him an opportunity to step up and be the hero of the situation. He didn't do that, but why would you try to take someone down by giving them an opportunity to actually do good? You know what I mean? Like, he had an opportunity to do really good there and didn't. But anyway.
Yeah, when you need a half gallon of scotch for a 2-hour conversation.
Yeah.
I'll just say it.
I've been waiting to do this podcast with you for a while. There's something very specific I want to talk tonight to you about. I should have came more prepared, so I will be Googling things. But back in right at the tippity top of the COVID pandemic, the United States government, the Pentagon, I believe, I think said in I want to say it was a New York Times article, or maybe they just released something, I don't know, confirming the existence of UFOs. Now, what they confirmed was that there are things flying around in the sky and we don't know what they are. That's what was confirmed.
The U.S. government acknowledged to the... All that is that the U.S. government acknowledged to the American populace that there are things flying in the airspace that they don't know what they are. That's not... It, by definition, is an unidentified flying object, not an alien
right.
UFO.
Of course. Unidentified means unidentified. That doesn't mean alien.
Outside of the fact that this is stemming after this, the first witnessed interstellar body has entered our solar system just 3 years ago.
What? What is that? What do you mean?
Oh, I texted you a few days ago.
Like witnessed interstellar body. What do you mean?
We in 2017.
Okay.
The first ever, witnessed by humans thing, not from our solar system, our immediate solar system. So the sun and the planets that make up our solar system. This thing was from some other star system and was flung clear out of that and came within a few 100 million miles of Earth.
Well, like a rock?
A very weirdly shaped rock.
Huh.
It was too long for how we know most rocks in space to form. Long and cylindrical.
Still could have been a rock.
Oh yeah, probably a rock.
The far more interesting one to me is Commander Fravor. Do you know Commander Fravor? Have you heard of him? He's on Rogan. Do you know what the TikTok footage is? Or the Tic Tac, the mint. That's the name of it.
Okay,
sure. You remember? Is that what they're called? Tic Tacs?
Yeah.
Okay. The Tic Tac UFO is what it is. He is a fighter pilot, and he was scrambled because they saw something, and he went and they saw it with their own eyes. They have it on camera, and it was. He said, "There's nothing that can do that."
Nothing that he knows of or has flown that can do that. Yeah.
He said, according to physics, the movements that thing was making should be impossible at the speeds it was making them. And it was like kind of going under. It was like kind of coming in and out of the water. It was like close skimming the top of the water and stuff. So yeah, there's that, and then on top of all that, there's another thing here too I got, but I don't know if you heard about this, but in that fucking COVID relief bill that Trump signed a week or two ago for the the extension on unemployment and stimulus and all that stuff. I don't know who did it, and I would love to find out because someone slipped something in there, which is now in a law because he signed the bill into law. Someone slipped in there the second this thing goes, basically, I don't know the wording, but it's like the second this thing goes into law, the Pentagon has 180 days to release all the information they have on UFOs, which is law now. So there's a timer on them right now. I don't know if that'll change. Maybe they'll switch it in the next 100, or maybe they'll just dump it with everything. But yeah.
Superseding that, they do have the ability to withhold any information that they view as an issue of national security. Which national security will trump any law that is come up with in that way.
Yeah. Which is,
it's a bullshit clause that they can literally, like, I pooped my pants the other day, and that's a matter of national security. If China finds out about that, that makes our nation look weak. I don't have to tell you about it because of that.
And that's the thing too. Like,
I did though.
There's Jesus. There's this lady, what's her name? I want to say like Annie Jacobson or something. I don't know. That could be totally off like that. She's an author though, and she got the fucking she worked really hard actually through the Freedom of Information Act to get the Pentagon to give her all of the documentation they have on what happened in Roswell. And what she found was it was a downed Russian aircraft, and the government allowed for the UFO story to run because at that point in time we were in the middle of a Cold War. No, we were worried about war, and because this was like the 40s or something.
It's easier to cover it up and let people believe what they want.
They thought that it's easier to let everybody think it's aliens or a UFO as opposed to let them know our enemy infiltrated our airspace that much with being undetected. Because it just went down. No, we didn't shoot it down. It just crashed. And that makes sense to me. That's national security. That makes sense to me.
Was it a manned?
I don't remember.
Yeah, that would have been interesting.
Yeah.
Some Russian guy died.
On the one hand. On the other hand, there's another podcast I just heard recently talking about Roswell, and they had some more interesting points and evidence. I was like, all right. But see, that's the thing, is it's like there's that one. There's, we got the ancient alien people with the I'm real.
They make good points.
I'm real tired of people thinking that Stonehenge and the pyramids were built by extraterrestrials.
No, they were definitely built by humans.
Really? Yeah. Earth,
yes. With the information
not only
given to them by extraterrestrials.
No.
At the time.
That's the only part about those structures.
That's the only thing that makes sense.
No, that's the only part about those structures that doesn't make sense. Not only do I know that humans did it, I know how they did it.
Yeah.
There used to be this show on Sci-Fi called Fact or Faked.
And why they did it?
That's the question.
Aliens.
That's the question.
Aliens.
No. Because the thing about the pyramids is you can't go in them. Like, there's just tiny little tunnels everywhere and stuff, It's not like you walk in and it's a palace. You know what I mean? Like, so it's like, why?
It's an energy transfer unit.
Would you build it? I mean, that's what some people have said. But, it lines up with the constellations. Guess what? How well do you know your favorite TV show? Guess what their favorite TV show was? The fucking Sky. So, yeah, they, of course, had the ability and a very deep understanding of stars, how they are, how they work, where and when they will be at certain points of the year. They had to survive. So, that doesn't require extraterrestrials at all, to me. So now that I've said all the things, and lastly, of course, I feel for both of us, the single biggest issue that we have with extraterrestrials being on Earth, it's not that we don't 100% other places in the universe have intelligent life. There's no question in my mind. The question is, have they ever been here? Have they ever been here? That's the question. Because what we know of science, when you look into the sky, you're looking back in time. So anything looking at us is seeing however many millions of light years away they are. That's how far back in time they're seeing us. So let's say they were just a million light years away. They looking at us, it's a million years ago. No. If a race advanced enough to travel space, looked here, and saw what we were a million years ago, they'd probably have zero interest in coming here. We think.
We think, unless they sent a probe,
which is interesting. Which is because is that yes, like because is that not exactly what we do?
Yeah.
So I feel like that's what they would do too.
And I think we've talked about it before, and I think we've talked about it on your channel before. But the idea of quantum entanglement, where two particles, regardless of the space between them, whether they're 2 feet away or a million light years away, will respond to the same stimuli in the same way, gives you the ability to make a quantum entangled computer system or a network system, where you can send a probe to a faraway solar system that's, 5,000 light years away, but get real-time feedback. Using quantum entanglement. So,
oh shit. Damn. I never even thought about that. That would work.
So was it a rock?
Or was it a probe?
Or was it a probe?
Was the Tic Tac, was any of it? Could have all been probes.
Highly advanced probes.
Yeah. Of course. To travel that far. But wouldn't it still... God.
No, because... So our argument in the past, my argument in the past, why hasn't alien life come here? Because that's what you said, they're looking at us from the past. They're looking at us from however far away they are in light years. That's how long ago their view of the planet Earth is from wherever they are, because light has a finite speed. So light from Earth can only reach them in a certain amount of time,
right.
And no technology can change the speed at which the light from Earth will get to them. No matter how technologically advanced they are, they can't see faster than what light will come.
Right, yeah.
But they can send shit faster.
Than light?
If they have modes of transportation, interstellar travel, that can move faster than the speed of light, whether it's using wormhole technology, whether it's using mass compression, or whether they've been sending out probes since long ago, they could have easily been sending out probes to potentially habitable planets, much like we will be in our near future once we have that capability.
That's exactly what we're going to do. We're send them everywhere.
And what are we going to do with some of those later versions of those probes? Set them up with quantum entanglement, where we can get readings and information from the solar systems that they're in.
That's insane.
Instantly.
It's like...
without worrying about that translation of space and time and having to wait 37 years just to get a signal from it.
Right. It's like sending a cell phone, kind of. And then you can just call it.
Yeah, but less of a delay.
Yeah.
Less of a delay.
Wow.
It takes light from the sun, from the surface of the sun, 8 minutes.
Right.
To reach the surface of Earth. 8 minutes. It takes cell phones, the signal going up to a satellite and then coming back to a cell phone, takes time because it's using the same, it's traveling at the same speed of light.
Right.
They're just different forms of light.
Right.
All that takes time for it to travel distance. Quantum entanglement has no time.
Probe. That'll do it. That solves the issue. But these are my, I guess those are my issues with a lot of it. But I tell you what, man, with Commander Fravors thing, with the former defense minister in Canada saying what he said a number of years ago about, oh, they are here, they work with the government. And now, just the other day, former Israeli space secretary chief says extraterrestrials exist and Trump knows about it.
You think Trump works with aliens?
I hope not.
He fucking hates aliens.
I would... Well, but isn't it weird, though, that he's the first one to have set up a space force?
No.
No?
No.
I also don't think that if aliens are working with the government, I think they have, if that's the case, they have been for a long time. It's above top secret. It's above the president's head. And nobody told Trump.
Trump does not know.
Yeah.
If.
I'm just kind of reading some of what this guy said. Go on.
It just, they're not here. We don't have contact with them.
Oh, why do you say that?
Because it would be such a big deal that everybody would know.
That's a fair point. That's one of the things that Joe Rogan says a lot is, you know, you and your 3 high school friends, how good were you guys at keeping secrets?
Yeah.
Now you're dealing with thousands of people with this amazing information. Oh my God, aliens are here. Every single one of them is going to keep it quiet. Every single one. And maybe they aren't. Maybe these 2 fucking guys are telling the truth.
These 2 fucking jobs are just like, no man, there are aliens. I've seen them.
I don't know.
And they're just telling the truth about, yeah, but no.
Why not? Why not?
In order for aliens to be here and for us to still have the ignorance to their existence on our planet, it would have to be in the way in which I described. Literal probes, like objects sent from alien worlds that are hooked up to real-time feedback that they can control.
But you don't think so
I don't think that interterrestrial life is here on this planet.
But so you think that it's just probes are way more likely. But if they sent the probe and they wanted to come, I mean,
no. No. Why would they want to come?
I don't know.
Why would they want to come to this planet? Okay, so first of all,
Well,
life on other planets is not guaranteed to evolve in the same way that our life does. The way in which...
Absolutely.
100%.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's probably going to be different everywhere.
The things that they need to survive are going to be different from the way that we need to survive. The simple fact of the matter is bringing... Yeah. Okay, so even if you go on the carbon-based life form...
Well, I'm not even saying that. Well, yeah, sure, maybe. But, like, if they have the ability to travel anywhere, then wouldn't they have set up the ability to kind of survive?
For how long?
Right.
Everything, look, everything
honestly,
is finite.
If it's just a fucking... It could be as simple as... The gravity is different here by 1%, so if they come here, they get crushed.
And,
you know...
And, if alien life is here, why would they choose to keep themselves hidden and only interact with their government bodies?
That is very strange. That does seem... Well, maybe they aren't just... Maybe they are, like, abducting people and doing experiments. But my thing... The only thing I kind of have about that is, and it kind of is going back, what if they did send a probe millions of years ago and decided to come back? What if they've been here the whole time? What if they saw some dinosaurs and were like, let's go check that out?
Elon Musk would have known by now
Elon Musk
and would have told everybody.
is one of them.
No.
Have you ever heard that man speak?
Yeah, he's weird.
If there's an extraterrestrial on this planet, it's him. He's a genius and I love him, but...
See, he's just like on the spectrum. He's like severely high functioning autism.
Then he's a savant.
Yeah, that's all that he is. He's just a weird...
All that he is? He's got superpowers, bro.
He's just a weird fucking guy.
He is weird, but he's a fucking genius, and he's trying to make the world a better place, it seems.
Have you seen some of these rockets that land on their own?
Dude, I showed that to the fucking dragon thing. I showed that to you at your old house. The one that took off and landed.
Lands.
Yeah.
Both stages.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. It's fucking insane.
They're testing them where both stages are coming down like synchronized and
yeah. It's nuts. It is nuts, dude. I love it. I love that shit. It's the coolest shit ever, dude.
Do you know how much goes into making that work?
You do. A lot, because we just did it for the first time in 2020. And we've been doing space stuff for 50, 60 years.
So, most of the stuff that Elon Musk does has already been proposed and suggested to NASA.
Oh, sure.
And he has all this information and expendable cash.
He's the richest man in the world now.
And that is the difference between him and our government-funded NASA, where the regulations and board members that they have to appease. He is the guy that you have to appease, and this is what he wants. So just try to make it happen, and if it fails, it was his fucking idea.
And he's just going to try again until it works.
That's what my wife didn't understand about why Elon Musk is, like, the needed step to take our species into the interplanetary and interstellar age. You need somebody with that kind of money and those kind of resources who's driven to make those things happen, who's not bound by the government regulation, because that's what NASA is. The government funds the money and then tells them how to use it.
And on top of that, they don't even give them that much money anymore. Like they give them like a lot. They give them
still is kind of a lot.
It's a lot, but not for them. Like it's like less than like a penny off of every like tax dollar or something like that. Neil deGrasse Tyson says it.
Yeah. And Neil deGrasse Tyson is right in comparison to like the military budget, but the funding that NASA requires compared to a lot of other things in our nation, it's like.
Also, it used to be more. That's the other part of it. Like when we actually went to the moon and stuff, it was more
a larger percentage.
Yeah. It was probably less actual money because this was the '60s and inflation, but yeah.
But going back to that, like they. No matter how much money you give NASA, they'll never beat a private company.
Because there's red tape.
Because of the red tape.
Yep.
Because it's not given freely to them to do what they want and try things and be risky about it.
Right.
It's given to them to do the things that they want, which right now has primarily been using their research to develop technologies that can aid the U.S. military.
Right. Not fucking go to space or advance the human species, because it seems like every time we do go to space, we end up with microwaves or cell phones or the trickle down technology.
Within our lifetimes, man will have set foot on Mars.
I believe that. Yeah, I think that could happen soon. I think that could happen real soon. Like, we have the technology to make it happen right now, pretty much, right?
I think my kids will probably be, like, graduating high school when we're doing it.
Keep in mind, everybody, he doesn't have any kids.
I don't have any kids.
So, yeah, okay. But, so you're saying at least 20 years?
18, 20 years, yeah.
I agree, unless something happens and there's some, because with the moon there was a need, there was a race, we had to beat the Russians. There was more to it than just, oh, let's go to the moon. That was never a thing. It was we got to beat the fucking Russians. So if there's something else, some sort of need that comes up to get us there, I think it could be sooner. But I don't know what that would fucking be.
You're missing. So already since Elon Musk has taken over, we've dramatically increased the research in, like, the U.S. and the human race in general has dramatically increased the research speed at which we are accomplishing space-oriented goals.
Yeah.
It's not a need anymore, but we need driven people like Elon Musk to continue their goals of advancing their own technologies to get to that point. He's the kind of guy that is going to keep setting himself higher and higher goals until he's literally standing on Mars himself and like, well, what do we do next?
Standing on Mars with Joe Rogan smoking a joint.
Probably,
somebody draw that for me. I need to see that.
Probably not that. But
yo, I got some crazy Martian weed.
You could potentially grow potatoes on Mars. Why couldn't you grow weed? It'd be the worst weed you ever smoked. But man, it would be weed.
But man, it would be weed. Oh my god. Okay.
Just smoking CBD all day.
It's just smoking CBD all day. I mean, that's kind of what I don't know if you know this. That's kind of what they do. Did you ever watch that Snoop Dogg documentary where he went down to Jamaica to become Snoop Lion?
Well, that's what they do out in Jamaica.
No, but their weed is like everybody's like, oh, Jamaicans, they always smoke weed. Bob Marley, blah blah blah. Well, it's not what you think. They do grow a lot of weed, a lot of
cannabis,
but it's outside, and so it's very different than stuff that's grown inside. It's a completely different process. A and B, the stuff that they have down there is it has THC, but it has a very high CBD content. And in the documentary, at least, they'll literally go out into the fucking field, machete, hack that shit down, put it on a wood table, just with the fucking machete, and then they have these fucking pipes, these wooden pipes. The bowl is like that big. Like, it's like a giant bowl.
Yeah.
And the fucking, where you hit out of, whatever, is like 10 feet long. So you're sitting like way back here, somebody like 10 feet over there is packing this giant bowl and lighting it for you, and you're just puffing.
Yeah, we had a bomb like that.
We did!
Yeah, remember having to sneak that into your parents' house?
Yeah. Yeah, I do. There's two of them, but one of them broke. Yeah. And I don't know whatever happened to the other one. But yeah, we did have a 6-foot plastic bomb.
It's probably still in that house.
Oh, no, it's definitely not. I think I smashed it somewhere. I think I took it and just smashed it. Because I knew I was never going to fucking use that again.
Why would you?
I mean, it was like $30. I can go find another one.
You need like 3 people to manage that.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yeah, I could never smoke out of it alone.
All right, I need you to light it, and you're going to have to choke it.
And I'm going to need to sit on your shoulders so I can hit it.
And I'll do my best.
That's hilarious. But yeah, it's a good documentary. You should check it out if you haven't. It's really interesting. And it was a really cool look into that culture. I've been really into that kind of shit lately. But not like...
I liked the Bob Marley documentary.
So fucking good. The one... Yeah. We watched that together. Those Netflix ones. They got the one on Robert Johnson.
Yeah.
So good. So like that's right. We watched the Bob Marley one together and we were like, why didn't they fucking teach us this in school? Like this is insane.
Like, it was actually important.
Yeah. Extremely. Yeah. Like it was fucking nuts, actually. I should go back and watch that. I haven't watched that since I watched it with you. Yeah, man. But
yeah, man.
The fucking Jesus, that was a tangent. Back to the aliens.
Back to the aliens. Back to the fucking aliens.
Okay. I went from yes, aliens are here pretty much my whole life growing up, I always thought. And then once you and I, you know, we would go driving around all the time, fucking having these philosophical debates about this stuff and taking astronomy class together and all these classes. I got to a point where I was like, because that's just it. I was like, okay, well, I know how humans did the pyramids. Roswell was a Soviet plane. You know, I started like being able to not write off, but explain all of the biggest mysteries that people, and you know, just like with fucking religion, as soon as somebody has a question, they don't know something, they go, aliens or God. You know what I mean? It's, no, slow the fuck down. Slow the fuck down. So yeah, I've been in that headspace for most of the last few years, like 5-10 years. Now
you
though,
didn't used to be. You were the alien
proponent, right? But like in now, so for at least for the last like 5 years or so, I've kind of not been that. And well, not that I'm not, but it's just I'm a lot more skeptical. As opposed to, I feel like when I was growing up, I was just, you know, naive.
When you were explaining how light travels at, like, how looking at a planet that's 30 light years away takes 30 years for the light from that planet to get to us.
Yeah.
I remember so many conversations with you, with me explaining the same goddamn thing to you over and over again about there's no fucking way the aliens made it here because of this. Even if they're at the closest fucking place in the galaxy, there's too much time. We haven't been around long enough producing anything that they could see that would be worthwhile for them to be here.
Right.
Unless they're just using probes.
Which is, tonight is the first time I've ever heard you say that. So that's a new development for you.
Because I thoroughly believe that aliens are using probes. Because why wouldn't they? That's exactly what we will do.
Yeah. We've got a fucking rover on Mars right now. That's basically a rudimentary probe.
It's not interstellar though.
No. Rudimentary. But now with everything that's come out, with all the new, with extraordinarily credible and intelligent people like a Fravor,
Fraser,
Commander Fravor.
Oh, that's a good show though.
Yeah, he, you know, he's not the only one. You know, there's others like him that have seen things that they can't explain. So it's like, how do I probes? Yeah, okay, fine. But fine. Let's say it's a fucking alien probe. Holy fucking shit, dude. There's an alien fucking probe on the planet, like being controlled possibly by aliens on another planet somewhere. That's insane.
The more insane thing about it is that the aliens are controlling it in real time.
That's insane. Like they're fucking watching and able to evade our best fighter pilots, like in the sky. Like, you know what I mean? And these guys are bad motherfuckers, dude.
Either that, or there's some countries out there that have way advanced technology over ours.
Now let's talk about that.
That's much
think
more
that's
realistic.
possible?
Oh yeah, that's much more realistic.
You think it's possible they got stuff better than we do?
Yeah, 100%. And keeping it on the down low.
I would say it's more likely it's us. Couldn't it be? Couldn't it be our tech, super secret tech?
You think Bezos is just like trying to one up Musk?
Well, maybe that would be awesome. But let's
like all of the UFOs in the world right now are just
Well,
Bezos.
well, that's the other problem. That's
secretly spending his own money
Hang on,
to
though.
be like,
There is a problem with that. We can't say it's. I don't know if you could say it's human tech because it's been going on for too long. Like we would have had to have had this technology for like
since the pyramids.
Yeah, as long as people have been looking in the sky and seeing things that they can't explain.
But see, no. Because
Fravor.
What I say?
Frazier.
I know what I say. I don't know why people do that. I obviously knew what I said. Fravor. He's my favorite one. Fravor saw something recently.
Yeah, this was
drastically
a few years ago, I think.
Unexplained that he thinks
2017.
Can't even be explained by physics.
Mm-hmm.
2000.
Oh,
what?
Yeah.
What?
What?
What year was it?
I believe it was 2017. Let me look it up. Why? Why is that significant? Because of the other thing in 2017, the Saphir rock?
Oumuamua.
Oh, it's a Muamua.
That's the rock. The rock.
How do you spell it?
Oumuamua. Oumuamua. Discovered first by...
Holy shit. Okay, so this was discovered...
astronomer in Hawaii in 2017. It flew through our solar system as the fastest object that we've ever witnessed in our solar system.
Really?
Yeah. Lightning fast, which is
that's
the
insane.
only way that we know for a fact that it was not from our solar system. So
Because it had to have been flung.
exactly,
It wasn't just floating across.
exactly.
Yeah.
You need to play KSP. Because
Kerbal Space Program.
Kerbal Space
video
Program.
game.
Because
it's not really a video game, it's a training simulator.
It literally is.
Yeah.
It is a physics simulator for orbital mechanics, and it makes you understand how orbital mechanics work, and how something like that, where an object that is being influenced by our sun's orbit will be at its highest peak speed ever.
Mm-hmm.
As it gets closer and closer to our sun.
Okay.
So its speed is something drastically faster than anything that we've seen. It was to the point that our astronomers didn't see it until it was almost too late, and then the pictures and information that they got on it didn't give us enough information about what it looked like to really know if it was a rock or not.
Well, yeah, what I'm reading here kind of makes me second. Well, here, Oumuamua is the first known interstellar object detected passing through the solar system, formerly designated 17 U1. It was discovered by Robert Wereyk, W-E-R-Y-K, using the Pan-STARRS telescope at the Haleakala Observatory in Hawaii.
That was actually pretty close.
On the 19th of October in 2017, 40 days after it had passed its closest point to the sun on the 9th of September. When it was first observed, it was about 33 million kilometers from Earth, which is about 85 times as far away as the moon.
After it reached its perihelion.
Yes.
Its closest...
and already heading away from the sun. Go on.
Closest point to the sun. It was already on its way out. So it had already gone towards the sun, accelerated to Mach speed, and we were watching it on its way.
On its way out.
Shoot rocketing out of our solar system.
Oumuamua is a small object estimated to be between... it's quite the range. Estimated to be between 100 and 1,000 meters long. Okay? With its width and thickness, both estimated to range between 35 and 167 meters. It has a dark red color, similar to objects in the outer solar system. Despite its close approach to the sun, Oumuamua showed no signs of having a coma?
A coma. So a coma is the gaseous trail left by a comet as it approaches the sun.
So that's the tail.
So normally when like an icy or rocky body accelerates towards a hot star,
It melts.
it vaporizes and leaves that vapor off behind it.
Right.
We didn't observe that on this.
Right.
Maybe it was moving
weird.
too fast.
But it's
Who
still
knows?
odd. But so it had no signs of a coma, but this is interesting, did exhibit non-gravitational acceleration.
Which could be explained by having a gas trail or a coma following it.
Mm-hmm.
Because those gas leaving a body of an object of that size will influence its path and trajectory. Because it essentially functions like a weak rocket engine where you're shoving gas off in one direction and it's pushing you in the other.
Right.
So it can change the trajectory of your orbit through that. But without witnessing that, why... We see examples of it having one, but we never saw it.
Right. It does say on July 2019, astronomers reported Oumuamua. It's designated as a rogue comet, but on July 2019, astronomers reported Oumuamua was an object of a quote purely natural origin, end quote. This came after speculation of it being an alien object.
Because there are real people out there who still, and they're not saying 100% like this is alien, but it's one of the first witnessed interstellar objects, and like 99.9999999 keep going for forever % chance it's just like a normal everyday rock that's a weird shape that we don't understand how it was made. Though they do believe that they think that it was made by tidal forces as it was orbiting its sun in a very close perihelion orbit, elliptical orbit, which would slowly elongate a spherical rock as it whips around.
Right.
But nobody saw it well enough to know for sure.
Okay, this is yeah. So I was wrong about the Tic Tac UFO. There's actually 3 different videos that the Pentagon released. So these are videos released by the Pentagon of incidences that took place in 2004, 2014, and 2015. And it was the subject of extensive media coverage in 2017. That's why I thought 2017. But it was declassified by the Pentagon in 2020. So yeah, I was wrong about that year. But in any case, so we got this. But now here, right here, UFO report set to be released as a result of the U.S. Emergency Relief Bill, a law buried in the 5,600-page Emergency Relief Bill requires the U.S. intel agencies to deliver an unclassified report on UFOs. Which actually, for the record, according to the government, that they aren't UFOs, they're UAPs, unidentified aerial phenomenon. That's the terminology used in official reports and stuff, at least. So but that is important because you can't, like, you can get almost anything you want through the Freedom of Information Act. Like, that's very real, but I can't walk in and go, give me all you got on Roswell, because there's no fucking report titled Roswell. You have to actually know the correct terminology and ask for it. That's why so many people have a hard time getting stuff, because they don't know what the government called it.
And how do you find that out without knowing about it?
So let's check out some more
tricky bastards.
Tricky fucks, right? Let me get that fucking scotch.
Oh yeah, I need more scotch.
Yeah, scotch. I love scotch. You go first.
No, you first.
I can't help but throw the horns in the air and stick my tongue out when I'm holding a half gallon. I don't know why.
A half gallon of scotch, nonetheless. A cheap half gallon of scotch.
How much was this? Do you know?
$50. Yeah. You could drink for a while on that, couldn't you? For $50.
At least 4 nights.
That's cheap. That's cheaper than a lot of fifths.
Yeah. Because a half gallon is how many fifths?
2.
Yeah, 4 nights.
That's a lot.
Here you go. What are you doing? There you go.
You okay, bro?
Shit's delicious. No, my hero died.
So I actually brought you here tonight to talk to you about your drinking habit.
It's fine. No. Recent events. Let's move to more recent events. Very recent. I'm talking 2 days ago. Aloha, aliens. Glowing blue UFO spotted in the Hawaiian sky. This is from USA Today. The UFO had a glowing blue color and an oblong shape, witnesses said. It was described by one onlooker as larger than a telephone pole. FAA officials said there were no aircraft incidents or accidents in the area at the time. I believe there is. There it is. Now, I have not seen this yet.
Something is in the sky. What is that? Perplexed residents on the Leeward Coast searching for answers after a lit up
That's weird.
flying object reportedly plunged into the ocean near Ulehava Beach Park. There are multiple videos of what appears to be a glowing oblong mass, both in the sky and then in the water. Honolulu police notified aviation officials about the bizarre sighting, but as our Allison Blair reports, it remains a mystery.
Officials from the Federal Aviation Administration say there were no aircraft incidents or accidents in this area Tuesday night, but multiple witnesses report seeing a large blue object fall out of the sky and into the ocean.
Something is in the sky. What is that?
This video was taken by Misitina Sape at 8:26 Tuesday night near Haleakala Avenue in Nanakuli. Not long after, a woman named Mariah spotted the same thing passing over Princess Kahanu Estates.
And then I was like, oh,
How was that?
Holy shit.
Look up there. See what I see. They all said, yeah.
The 38-year-old says
I'll
she's
say,
never really
yeah.
been a believer in UFOs, but the bright blue object had them so intrigued, they jumped in the car and started following
That's
it.
a hang
I don't
glider.
know what it was. This one was going so fast.
The journey
haven't
ended
seen
less
the
than
video yet,
3
so I gotta
miles
watch
from
it.
where it began, on Farrington Highway in front of the Board of Water Supply building after the object appeared to drop into the ocean.
Or the one line in the water, whatever it is.
She described it as being larger than a telephone pole and says she never heard it make any sound.
We called 911 if I have, like,
That's a hang
for
glider.
somebody to come out and come check.
Or
Officers were on
whatever
scene.
you
She
call
said
it,
they
where
spotted a
you're
second
towed by
light.
like a boat or some shit like
and
that.
you seen the white one coming. The white one was smaller, was coming in the same direction as the blue one.
They lost sight of the object after it passed over a nearby mountain.
So that was I saw that story come up the other day, and I actually heard a shout out to if anybody's not heard of it, the Dipping Milk in Cookies podcast. Very they're fairly new, just kind of getting going. I think they're somewhere around 60 episodes in, and it's actually a guy that I interviewed. He's a member of a band called Fuck. What? God, I get all of them confused. Reflection of Flesh. I think he's in Reflections of Flesh. Garrett, his name's Garrett Smith, but it's the Dipping Milk and Cookies podcast, and it's with Garrett, Cookie Commander Smith, and Milk Master Mike something. I can't remember his last name right now, but I think it's funny that they got that little nicknames.
Milk
and
Master Mike.
They had yes, it was Reflection of Flesh. Yes, I was right about that. Or was it Interpreter? No, it's Reflection of Flesh. I interviewed him and that whole band a couple months back, and it was a great time. I absolutely loved talking to him. At that point in time, I didn't know that he had a podcast, so I discovered that after the fact, and I've become a big fan since. And they often like to talk about UFOs and mysteries and stuff like that intrigue them. And they were the ones that brought this recent Hawaii sighting to my attention. That is a strange one. I kind of feel like, because okay, so you guys look up the video. I'm not gonna fucking show it to you off my cell phone. If this was a normal thing, we'd be able to do it. But look up the video. It's basically, you know what it looks like? It looks like a blue lightsaber. It's without the hilt. It's just the top of the lightsaber.
It looks like a lit up glider.
Why do you keep saying hang glider?
Yeah, that's kind of what it looks like.
Why? Why do you say that? It's just a long stick of blue. Where do you get hang glider from that? And who hang glides at night?
Why? Yeah, who hang glides at night? It's fucking dangerous.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can't see where you're about to land.
You're gonna die.
Yeah.
So.
But your glider's blue, so at least people can see you.
Then it would have to be blue with a light on it. And wait, hang gliding? Like you can't. How do you even do that? Don't you have to like jump off a mountain? You can't like hang glide from an airplane.
Yeah, from like a boat or something.
Oh, like when they pull you?
Yeah.
And you go up on the thing?
Yeah.
I've done that before. That's parasailing, isn't it?
Parasailing.
Yeah.
I don't know if that's what that is, but
no,
sure,
that was up a
whatever.
little high. But it could have been. Actually, that... Yeah, but if they called the fucking police. So if it was just that, I feel like that'd be pretty easy to solve. You know, we'd know. Maybe.
It doesn't mean that wasn't solved shortly after that video.
That's true.
But like the way that it was moving, the fact that it goes down into the water.
Right. That's the other thing though, is there are a lot.
The shape of it. If you look close at the shape of it as it's moving around in the air, it kind of looks like, you know, like the fucking, not parachute, but whatever it is, like the glider chute of somebody holding on to a strap on a boat. Just lit up in blue.
Yeah. I don't know.
And that would be a super cool and super Hawaiian thing to do.
Right. So I almost feel
you
like...
want to go parasailing at night for an excursion in Hawaii?
Okay.
Would you do that?
Okay, so if that was offered, then that's something they would see all the time.
What if it's new? What if it's
They would have seen it again already.
Okay, so first of all, you're going to trust this woman that said, oh, holy shit, and I talked to them and I said, you see this? And they were all like, yeah.
I'm not saying I do or don't trust her. She reacted the exact same way I would react, so...
Yeah.
I would be, holy fucking shit! I would have the same... I wouldn't even be able to send my video to the news. There'd be too many swear words. I just have to beep the whole thing. Every other fucking word would be fucking holy fucking shit. Look at that shit, cunt. Look, oh my fucking god! Like, that's all the whole video would be.
Do you bleep out these videos?
Absolutely not. Absolutely not. And it's so funny and heartwarming to me every single time that my parents go, I get a random text, random middle of the day. stop swearing so much on your podcast.
Oh, you're watching.
Yeah, right? Like, I was like, oh, you watched? It was really cool. I had my parents on the podcast for the first time for the Christmas special. And before we got on, I warned them. I was like, look, I'm not like my two little devil sisters who are little shits and want to call my parents by their first names and swear in front of them. I've definitely sworn in front of my parents, but like it wasn't until recent years where it's just like I just let one fly every once. It just comes out. It's just normal talk.
Yeah, you're 30.
Yeah.
You've turned into the person who you are, and
yeah.
it's either that or what?
But I definitely don't swear as much around them as anybody else. No. You know what I'm saying? I try to keep the respect. You know what I mean? But I told them, I was like, look, you guys are coming on the podcast. All bets are off. there's no things are gonna come out.
So just mom, dad. Before we do this, I want to say sorry.
Yep, basically. Yep. You're about to hear some words.
I'm gonna be myself right now, and
it's the show. I gotta be
me. Fucking swears a lot.
Like a fucking sailor on this thing.
So why don't you just introduce your dad and just start swearing?
Oh, no. I wasn't like... I should have been. I should have. Before I got on, I was talking to Aaron. I was like, I should fucking just start swearing up a storm and see how long it takes before my mom goes, BJ!
That would have been the best part of that.
I definitely need to have him back on to do that. And I definitely didn't make fun of my mom enough for drinking.
I saw your mom
when?
The other day.
Oh, they had the fucking car. Yeah, they kept calling me thinking I was him.
Yeah. And then I took over and I was like, no. This isn't what
I got a fucking email and a voicemail from your work, and I was like, what? And so I called Dad. I was like, is your car in the shop?
So I put your cars under James Barger stock.
Oh, okay. But still, how do you have my number? How did they have my number?
Yeah, because when you had your Saturn in there.
Oh.
I entered you into the system as James Barger stock. So that way it's just... no one will ever look you up again.
Right.
Your dad comes in, and I have no idea how. Unless you brought his car in once, and I just used that.
I might have picked it up once or something, but...
he had to have looked up the last name Bargerstock.
And just saw it.
Found the same address.
Yeah.
That was on file.
Because that would have been the same.
And said, this is good enough.
Yeah. Yep. I just thought it was funny. I was like, huh, that's weird. Because you know who else? Whenever, I don't know how our emails got mixed up with the system, but whenever Dad orders something and it's being delivered from UPS, I always get emails about it. It's weird.
Used to pay my dad's electric bill. Because I am also Mr. Jackson. There was a year that...
oh, no.
And my dad never, thought that it was weird that he just didn't have to pay anymore.
Wait, so, he didn't know that you were...
No, I didn't know.
You did?
I was paying 2 electric bills.
And you never, questioned it?
I got a bill, and I always set them up for auto pay. So I was just like, all right, well, yeah.
Are you serious?
Jay Jackson. So what happens when you live in the same apartment complex as your dad?
Oh my God, that is hilarious.
My dad just must have been like, oh, I guess it's a free year.
They're running a deal right now. Yeah. It's great. Wow, that's fucking hilarious.
Finally getting the respect I deserve, motherfuckers. Goddamn right.
Goddamn right. Oh my God, that's hilarious. Wow. So yeah, that was a lot of fun. We had them on, and we had Aaron's parents on, and I had an hour with that I did with Katie that I hadn't posted yet, so I threw that at the end, and it was just like a family Christmas special. In a year where a lot of people, we can't. It was a weird year. A lot of people couldn't be with their families on Christmas. So we were like, why not, have our families on?
So we'll talk about this on here real quick. Because it's a controversial idea, and I think it'll get people
Here we go.
to consider it. My mom is buying the house next door to us.
Yes. Very exciting.
And a lot of people think that that's a weird thing to do.
Yeah, I don't see how this is controversial. I also don't understand why people think it's weird. I don't get it.
Everybody that I talk to is like, oh God, I would never want to live next to my parents.
Well, maybe your parents suck.
Like,
Ours don't. We're really, really lucky. We are very fortunate, and I'm very thankful for. I love your.
It's just like not that weird to me. Like,
It's
don't you like your family's supposed to like
my thing.
be around?
Yeah, my thing is that it's more weird. Okay, what's the definition of weird? Out of the ordinary, right? Turn the clock back less than 100 fucking years. Most houses were multi-generational homes. Grandma, grandpa, mom, dad, kids, grandkids, all lived under the same roof.
Yeah.
For a large portion of this country's history. It wasn't until maybe since 60s, 70s, 80s, somewhere in there, when that really started to change. So it's actually more weird, and when you look at it like that people don't do that as often anymore. And I'll tell you what, after my grandfather passed and grandma and my parents moved in together into a new house, into a bigger house, and then my girlfriend and I broke up, it was her apartment, so I had to go back home, and I was like, oh my God, I got to live with my grandma and my parents. But then I was like,
that was the OG crypt.
Yes, it was. And so, but like right away, all that melted. I was like, it turned into, I get to see grandma every day. Yeah. Very quickly. Like it became a very valuable time for me, like to spend that time with her. So I don't see how it's weird, especially like I don't see how it's weird at all, but like, especially with your particular situation, it actually makes an incredible amount of sense.
Imagine if everybody loves Raymond. If everybody had actually... That's
a good example.
Like, a more cohesive family unit.
Yeah.
It would have worked out. Mm-hmm. Like, oh yeah, you have a whole bunch of kids here? Let me come over and watch them. Yeah. Oh, you want some time alone? I'll leave.
Yeah, no, it just makes a lot of sense. When you just consider every aspect of the situation, it just makes nothing but sense to me. Honestly, I don't get why people would think it's weird.
Dude, so many people think it's weird.
Well, I think
I think that it's a different situation that doesn't work for everybody. And it's ideal for our situation, but it's thrown me for a loop how many people have been so drastically put off by this idea.
That's stupid to me. Fuck them.
I mean, not fuck them. It's their own opinions.
Yeah, I mean, no. It doesn't work for everybody. Not everybody has the same relationship. I'm not saying you and I have the same relationship with our parents, but we have good relationships. Not everybody has that. And on top of that, shit, what the fuck was I about to say? I forgot.
It's,
not everybody has, and I'll never forget you telling me this. Many years ago, when you first, like, moved out, because you and I, like, people, you gotta understand, there was a point in our lives where there was not a day that went by where we didn't see each other. And that started in high school and continued through a lot of college.
Except for that 1 year.
And also keep in mind, I spent like 6 or 7 years in college. So, and I am not a doctor or have a PhD. I just have a bachelor's, which is basically an associate's now. But I remember back then when you first moved out. I remember how much, like, when you were a young angsty teenager like me, we all fought with our parents a lot. And then you moved out at a much earlier time than I did. I continued to fight with my parents. You started telling me you and your mom's relationship has never been better. Like, once you moved out, it was like everything went away, and now we can just, like, be friends. Like, we can be... You guys took trips together, just you two, up to Mackinac and up north and stuff like that. I will never forget you telling me that, because the first time I finally moved out, that is exactly what happened. It was like, holy... Like, these are just, like, people that care about me and my friends now, and I care about them. You know what I mean? It's that thing. And even when I had to move back for a little while,
it didn't change.
It didn't really change anything outside of, you know, grandma saying crazy shit that pisses me off at the dinner table. That's about it.
But that's
grandma. That's what grandmas are supposed to do.
That's
They're supposed
almost
to be
endearing.
sweet, make cookies, and say crazy shit that makes you laugh or pisses you off.
So I've started something. So since my dad passed away, I've started calling my mom on a nightly basis.
This was recent, so everybody knows.
Versus just calling her whenever it's...
You make a point to call it nightly.
Yeah, every single day on my way home from work. I used to call Gabby. I talked to her on the phone. I listened to radio talk show in the morning when I go into work, and I call people at night when I'm on my way.
I knew that. Yep.
Now, part of my routine is once I get to the turnoff point, where if my mom doesn't answer, I have to turn and make sure that she's still alive.
Turn into the neighborhood. Yeah. I know what you're saying. She's the first call?
No, she's the second call.
Okay.
Call my wife, let her know I'm on my way home.
Okay.
All right, we're good. Gotta call my mom.
Yeah.
Mom, you're alive? Okay. And then we talk, and she talks, and she talks, and she talks, and she talks. I asked her a question today, and she gave me the answer, and then proceeded to follow up the answer with a 10-minute backstory on why she gave me that answer.
Let's get your mom on a podcast.
Jesus Christ, you ever had a 5-hour podcast?
The Christmas special was 5.5 hours long.
Oh, perfect. With my mom next door here, you can do that on the regular. You'll just have to ask one question. Bonnie, how's it going?
And that's the thing. Like, okay, hold on. I'm going to mute us real quick. So I just wanted to clear that first. So another aspect of this is that, yeah, so your mom, your parents have always been much old. How old's your mom?
70.
Are you serious?
70 years old.
She's a fucking spry ass 70, bro. She's sharp.
Yeah, but she's old as fuck.
So my parents are in their early to mid 50s. I don't know exactly. So your parents have always been much older than mine. So that is something that you, like you just said, you got to turn off to make sure she's all right because you're worried about her. Having her next door alleviates that entirely. And I know you and your wife have been married, what, 1.5 years now?
Yeah.
Just moved into this fucking beautiful new house together. Literally a 4-minute walk. Well, yeah, they're not seeing the rest of the house. This is just your study room that you haven't. Did you paint this yet?
No.
Yeah, you haven't even painted it yet. That's why I set up the cow picture. So we had a little decoration. We got a cow.
Yeah. There's cows in most rooms.
You're welcome.
Or cow Have you seen her cow towels?
No.
My wife has embraced
the cow.
The cow.
I love it.
She hates that she likes it.
I can't fucking wait till. So, but you guys, so all of that, now it's time to start trying to have a baby. Let's say, and I know you guys are trying, so.
Whoa. That was supposed to be private, man.
Now grandma's right next door to watch the fucking baby all the fucking time. And she's gonna love it.
Why is your grandma next door?
Your mom.
That's my mom.
It'll be your kid's grandma. You know this. You're just making me explain things because you know I'm buzzed. Anyway, you fucking dick. I love you. It just that's those two aspects alone to me make it the most sensible move. It just makes extraordinary amounts of sense to me. Like that's why I think it's weird that people think it's weird.
Time out. Let's talk about Grace for a moment.
Goose. I call her Goose.
The Goose.
And I'm Maverick.
Kinda. Who was that other guy that didn't really fly much?
I don't know. I've only fucking seen that movie like once in my life. I've never.
Steve? Yeah, you're Steve.
I'll take it. I can fly.
Just not much.
Just not much.
Grace went to Post Oak.
Yes.
It's a Chinese immersion school.
No. It's a normal elementary school, but they had the Chinese immersion program.
They have a Chinese immersion program.
Where she was taught Chinese, the language, and the culture. By people from China.
The Lansing Public School District has gone into a new program.
They don't do that anymore? Or what?
They still do the Chinese immersion program.
Okay.
But it extends beyond that. The entire Lansing School District is split up. You no longer have a school of choice. You pick the school that you want to go to based on the direction that you're trying to or that you want to send that your child wants to go in to later on in life.
Okay.
So they have 3 different categories of schools. One for like human sciences, and international sciences that the immersion programs go into. And it goes all the way from the elementary up to the high school level. And it's literally like a social studies, science, and general, essentially.
Okay.
And they split them up into the Eastern, Sexton, and...
I don't know.
Yeah, whatever the other one is.
Yeah.
And then they have tiers down there for all the elementary schools as well that are in those different categories.
Mm-hmm.
But because of that, we can send our kids anywhere in Lansing for school. So Post Oak, for the past 10 years running, has had the number 1 test scores for math and reading in the entire Lansing School District, and has beaten all but one of East Lansing, which is the city that Michigan State University,
which is where we went
is home to,
elementary school through high school.
Exactly.
That was a joke.
Beats all of the elementary schools in East Lansing, save for one.
What? One? Do you know?
No, I don't. I think it's Pinecrest because they have too much money. They can buy off the testers.
Yeah, I believe that.
Yeah. Moral of the story. They're doing something right there. And
yes, they are.
Looking over all the reviews from parents and students and everybody else that's gone there, it is one of the best neighborhoods to be in.
And you bring this up because this is where Grace went.
This is where Grace went. This is where I want my kids to go to. I want my kids to go through a very similar process that Grace went through. Because whatever she's doing worked.
Yeah, we saw it firsthand. You were my best friend the day she was born. You were already very much in my life. You saw her grow up.
I had to pick her up from school alone one day.
Yep.
Which is a weird thing for some guy.
Yeah.
Some random guy to do who's not related.
He's not on the list. What do we do here?
Yeah. They didn't check.
Maybe you shouldn't send your kid to that school, bro. Holy shit. They checked me, but then again, I dress the way I dress. So.
They just let me take them.
You look it's like a respectable citizen.
I was wearing
like Alexi Leho.
I was just wearing a polo. Can I have this kid?
Here you go, sir. But Grace also knew you, so she would have been
It did
fine.
help that Grace just ran up and was like, Jordan!
Yeah, there you go. So, no, dude, there's no question. We watched it. We witnessed it firsthand. And my parents got shit for that in the family, even from me. Like, why the fuck does she need to be going to the, you know what I mean?
No, because you take...
But-
so she's fluent in Chinese before she ever...
She was.
Well, yeah.
She can still speak a little, but not as much. Because now she's like learning Latin.
You use it or you lose it. But it opens up your mind to be able to take on so much more information in so many different ways.
She is extraordinarily intelligent and was at a very surprisingly young age. I will never forget the day that I walked in the front door. You remember how it used to be set up, parents' old house. You walk in the front door. If you walk straight ahead, there's the study. But at one point in time, the desk with the computer on it was on that left wall. And so, like, the first thing you see is, like, the computer chair, right? I will never forget walking in one day, seeing Grace sitting in the computer chair. Her feet can't even touch the fucking floor. She's so small. And she is typing about as fast as I could type at the time.
You couldn't type very fast at the time.
Now I can. But back then, no, I was terrible. I was a search and pecker. Now I'm a don't even look.
Most of the people that I work
Free
with
writer
are still search and pecker. And these are like my age people.
I like doing free writing. I just like for songs and podcast ideas and stuff. I'll just sit down. I honestly, full disclosure, I still like to sit down with pen and paper. But
did you ever take a typing class
in high school? With and the teacher knew my dad. He like went to college with my dad, Mr. I can't remember his name. Aldrin. Yeah.
Aldrin.
Drink. Yeah.
He was just in a car accident.
We all what?
Yeah, huge car accident.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
How do you know this?
Facebook.
I don't follow any of my teachers on Facebook.
In 2020, he almost died.
He didn't die?
No, he's fine. No.
Okay.
Now. But he was like...
I liked him.
Hospitalized for a month.
Oh my god.
And then just in bed for like months after that.
During COVID?
Yeah.
Ugh. I'm sorry, Mr. Aldrink. I know you're never going to see this, but...
So in high school, when I had a whole bunch of my eye surgeries, he was the teacher that offered to come to my house to bring me my work and work with me on anything that I needed help with.
Oh, wow. I think I vaguely remember that. But I only had him once, and it was like during freshman year or something.
I only had him once.
But he still made that offer.
He still made that offer and just made this huge impact on like my personal life for like 2 years.
Yeah.
Because I had surgeries like 2 back-to-back years.
Yeah, I remember that. That's crazy. I hope he's all right. That's insane. Yeah, I haven't even thought about it. But in any case,
he is good now.
That's good. All right, good.
According to Facebook.
But in any case, yeah, like that process of a young person learning something like that at that young of an age did do something. And that something was positive. Because now, you know, she's a bad motherfucker out there following in her older sister. Also a bad motherfucker out there Katie's doing, you know, Peace Corps stuff, and now like the Ellie's house stuff, and now Grace is literally following in her footsteps in a sense. With her first, she's in the AmeriCorps program, and her first assignment was the exact same one that Katie's first assignment. And now though she's she's in Sacramento. She did not come home for Christmas. Everybody else in her group or whatever that did has to quarantine for 2 weeks, so they're waiting for that to be over. And then they will be stationed in Los Angeles, which is actually scary to me because there's so many fucking COVID cases out there right now.
Yeah, but LA's so tight.
Yeah, but everything's closed. You can't go do anything. You can't go to any restaurants. You can't go to any clubs. You can't. I told her, she said, there's one person in my group that knows LA. I was like, have them get you in a car and just drive by and take pictures for me of the Comedy Store, the Whiskey A Go Go, the Rainbow Bar and Grill, and the Viper Room. Like, those are the 4 places I have to fucking visit one. Like, so this, yeah.
I love LA.
And just a picture of the Sunset Strip. You've been there. Still to this day, the farthest west I've ever been is Devil's Tower in Wyoming. And we drove from here through South Dakota, Deadwood, to see Mount Rushmore. Yosemite National Park. We hit Devil's Tower in Wyoming, Corn Palace.
How did you go to there?
And we came back. This was probably 1998, 1999. Me, Preston, and Grandma and Grandpa.
That's how old my first car was.
And they took us on this trip because the great Barger stock trip from my father's youth was him and his 3 brothers with Grandma and Grandpa getting in a car and driving all the way out to Los Angeles. Mm-hmm. And they took the northern path out and stopped at the Wall Drug, Corn Palace, South Dakota with the Rushmore, and Deadwood and the Badlands.
You're supposed to Route 66.
Isn't it like undrivable now?
Yeah, more or less.
Yeah, it's like all overgrown, I heard.
Yeah, but you can just...
Could be wrong. Because I actually think I know somebody recently that drove on it, actually. So I could be wrong about that.
Take a truck.
As
long as you're at gas cans, you'll be fine.
But we just ended up doing the thing to Wyoming. Yeah, that was it's one of the greatest, most fun trips I've ever been on. That's where we discovered the jackalopes. That's where, so it was a lot of fun, man.
Route 66 dead ends in Santa Monica on Santa Monica Boulevard on the coast.
We got it, dude. Maybe, you know what? Can you and Gabby
take time off?
Just pump the brakes on the kid for a minute, so like we can like have like just wait till after COVID, so that way we can just have a year where we actually get to go to all the places we want to go to, and then you can have a kid.
She can go places while she's pregnant. She just can't drink. No,
I'm not trying to go around with a pregnant person.
Some fat asses peeing everywhere.
No, it's fine, but it's just not going to be the same as if it would be if, and then you got a kid, you're not going anywhere for 5 years, so.
Why not?
Go up north, but that's about it.
Oh, God, no.
Not taking that kid on an airplane.
No.
That's a nightmare.
I don't even go on airplanes.
I don't like airplanes.
I used to fly every year.
Where?
Places.
Your average was once a year at one point in time? Wow, I didn't know that.
Now
You have a pretty crazy story, though.
I would never fly.
Didn't you go to like a movie premiere?
Yeah, in LA. For Rush Hour 3.
Oh, yeah!
Yeah.
That's crazy, dude. That's fucking awesome.
After party.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's a premiere like?
You ever been to like opening night of any big movie?
Many with you, of course.
Kind of like that with more cameras there. Like imagine if while you're standing in line, people cared about you and
wanted to take pictures of you, and you're dressed fantastically.
Yeah. That
sounds awesome.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking awesome, dude.
Look, it's from my perspective, as somebody who was just there as an honored guest of some guy who was in the movie. Mm-hmm. We're just lined up to go see a movie, and suddenly people gave a shit that we're there to see it.
Do you remember what theater it was?
The Chinese theater.
Are you serious? Come on, dude. You've been to the Chinese theater? I didn't even know about that place until, for the last 5 years, listening to the podcast. Kevin Smith lives down the street from it, so he's talked about it quite a bit, and I kind of started to look into it.
Why wouldn't Rush Hour 3 be at the Chinese theater?
I don't know where they have premieres, but that's fucking awesome, dude. Oh my god. That's so cool. Damn.
Held the door for Paris Hilton for the bathroom. I went to the bathroom. I walked out. And Paris Hilton was waiting to go to the bathroom. So I held the door for her. And she went to the bathroom.
Did she say anything?
She said, Oh, thank you. I said, you're welcome.
Well, at least she's... there's that.
I saw Paris Hilton at the after party. She's... Have you ever just met, like, a very normal person? Just like, oh, hey, how's it going?
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everything's fine. Yeah. Not
She was
worried.
just super chill?
Normal individual, like, most normal human that I've ever met.
That's fucking awesome. That's fucking awesome. You wouldn't, you childhood star,
It's fake.
super rich.
It's fake. All of the Hilton drama, it's fake.
It's media.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
She's just some normal ass person,
Who just got thrown into this crazy life.
and that's how she makes money. By being that.
That's awesome. And good for her. Hey, Paris Hilton, if you're seeing this, you're more than welcome on the podcast. Just putting it out there in the universe.
And that'd probably be the driest ass podcast you've ever had.
Bah.
Hey,
Come up with something.
Hey, it's great to be here.
I don't know what kind of music. Maybe she looks metal.
I mean, normal people like metal.
No, they don't. I was about to say I'm normal. No, I'm not. I'm a fucking weirdo. And I drink a lot.
I met that. Have you seen Rush Hour 3?
Of course.
You know the
I love those
tall ass Asian guy?
Yes. Wait, was that a...
Not Yao Ming.
No, that's not who I was thinking of. That name did just go through my head, though. Who? Oh, God. Yes, I do. Go on.
Met him.
Hell yeah.
Talked to
Is
him
he actually
for a
that
little
tall?
while. Yeah.
Fuck yeah.
He's fucking tall. You never realize, like, what 7'8" is until you're standing on.
That's how tall he is?
Like, I'm not going to say yeah, but,
Okay.
like, probably.
What'd you come up to his, like, belt?
I was 6 foot at the time, so, like.
You're 6 foot right now.
Yeah, and I was 6 foot at the time, too.
I used to smoke weed. I still do.
But, yeah, he was infinitely taller than me.
Where'd you come up to him on? Belly button?
Like,
where
below
were-
his nipple.
Below his nipple? That's
Yeah.
insane. That's insane.
I probably came up, like, that mid-chest region.
Okay.
My nipples are pretty high, so I don't know where everyone else's nipples are. I've been told that my nipples are pretty high.
I don't think so.
I
I've
was
seen your nipples.
I was sober at the time, so I don't know.
Yeah. That's crazy, dude. I don't really have any stories of I mean, I've met some famous people, one with you. That was probably the best one. We got to hang out with Chris Tucker. Because we actually got to hang out with him. It wasn't just like a quick met Alexi multiple times. Those are probably some of my favorite memories outside of the fact that this is the thing. How long have we been going? Can you read that? I can't read it. No, there's a timer on there.
Hour and a half.
Hour and a half. Yeah. Sit me down across from one of my best friends or alone. Just put a microphone in front of me and I can go off for 2.5 fucking hours nonstop. Unbridled. You put me in front of a beautiful girl at the fucking grocery store or a fucking someone who I idolize and I'm a bumbling idiot. Cannot speak. I'm stuttering. I'm fucking have nothing to say.
Bye.
So yeah, that's one of the hardest parts about this Alexi thing is the fact that I actually met the man twice. Saw him in between 15 and 20 times live in 12 years. And I never said what I wanted to say to him. Like, I never said, like, how much he means. But I also didn't want to be, like, a punisher. I didn't want to, like, be, like, some weirdo. You know what I mean? I don't know how to do it and not come off weird. But just, I wish I had. I wish I had just made myself the weirdo. And maybe he would have remembered, oh, that weird guy that really liked me. But on the other hand, I once witnessed one of the most beautiful fucking things I've ever seen. My uncle is...
I mean...
Huh?
So, time out though. Real quick, pause. That's why my dad is friends with Chris Tucker.
What do you mean, why?
Why my dad was friends with Chris Tucker. He was the weird guy that was... He was the weird guy that met him and was just like, Chris, me and my sons love your movies so much. Like, it means the world to me. And Chris, like, he just went on and on about how much, like, his movies meant to him because it let him bond with his sons because we all liked it together. And it just meant the world to Chris. And then they became friends, like, to the point that Chris called my dad weekly and hung out with him whenever he could.
Yep. Yeah, and that's kind of where I was going. One of the most beautiful things I ever saw, my Uncle Dave, Preston's dad, is the one that first took us to our first handful of Trans-Siberian Orchestra shows. He's the one that introduced them to me. And I'll never forget the one time, because for anybody that doesn't know, Trans-Siberian Orchestra is a giant orchestra, and every year that they tour during Christmas, they split up into two groups. One takes the east side of the country, the other takes the west. And we would always go with one of Preston's dad's friends, also Preston's guitar teacher. So this guy loves music, and he loves rock and metal. His favorite band of all time is the Trans-Siberian Orchestra. His favorite guitarist of all time is a man named Al Petrelli. He's a very, very brilliant guitarist. Been in a lot of different metal stuff over the years. But he always toured with the West Coast group. He never came to Michigan and did a show. So there was one year where we decided because this was one year, this was not a common occurrence, I don't think, where the West Coast group came to, I want to say Illinois, somewhere in Illinois. It wasn't anywhere near Chicago, I know that. So maybe it wasn't Illinois. Maybe it was like Wisconsin or something. I don't know. But we drove down to see it. Indiana. Yes. That was it. So we drove down to see it. And we knew that after the show was over, the whole band would be at a big long table and you could get in line and get something signed. So we did that. Now, me and Preston, we were fucking off. We didn't really we didn't really have any interest in getting something signed.
Understand the gravity of the situation.
We also did not understand the gravity of the situation. That's 100% true. But it was a fantastic show. Fantastic. As it always is. It's never not. But the guy we go with, Rick, he gets in line. Al Petrelli. This is a long table with all the singers, the violinists, the guitar players, the drummer.
It's a huge band.
Everybody is on that table that performed on stage that night. Al Petrelli is the first one. You see him first, and then you continue down the line, meeting everyone and getting something signed. And this is Jesus Christ. This is probably 8, 9, 10 years ago, somewhere around there. So nowhere near COVID time, okay?
8, 9, 10.
Somewhere in there.
Like 2000, you were 20?
No.
A lot more years.
No, I was younger than 20.
Maybe like 15.
Because I couldn't drink yet, but me and Preston was sneaking drinks.
So like 17.
Probably no. It was because 18 was the first time I ever saw them. I was 18 years old in 1 week the first time I ever saw them. So it had to have been yes. No. It was. Are you kidding me? It was the night I lost my virginity. It was 18 years old and 7 days. I will never forget that.
7 days.
I will never forget that. December 7th. So 2008.
Yeah, that is 7 days after the 31st.
Or maybe... Wait. No. It was 2007. Because I turned 18 in 2007.
Yeah.
So it was 2007. Al Petrelli is the first one. Rick is in line. I watched this man get to that. Like, I watched him in line. I watched him from a distance while he was standing in line waiting. And I saw him talking to himself, but not out loud. You couldn't hear, but he was rehearsing what he was about to say. And he gets to the table. He gets to Al. Puts both hands on the... And again, I mentioned pre-COVID times because they were making everybody use hand sanitizer. So that way they didn't pass germs and stuff like that. And this is pre-COVID. So that was weird. It stood out.
That's legit.
It is legit. This man puts both of his hands on the table in front of Al and just starts to unleash. Like, just, I can't tell you how much I fucking love you, man. Never stop what you're doing. You mean everything to me. Just starts going off. And you could tell he's probably about to cry. And Al stands up and wraps his arms around him. Hugs him. He got a hug from his hero. And then I swear to God, wiping tears away from his face, beelines, does not get a single other signature, talks to nobody else. The whole band was watching this interaction and watched him get a hug. And they were all kind of like, what's he going to say to us? Nothing. Just banked. Like, it was fucking hysterical, but also one of the most beautiful things I've ever witnessed. And I need to remember that more. I need to be willing to put myself out there like that. Who cares if they think I'm weird for a minute? Just let them know how you fucking feel, man.
Can you imagine being seat number 2 and like
dude,
hyping yourself up like
you heard the whole conversation?
Oh shit, this guy's a fan. Oh shit, okay, this guy's
he's real. He's real.
This guy's a fan. This guy loves us. All right, I really.
And then you just watch him go,
well, fuck you too, man.
He's gone. Like, it was one of the craziest things ever, dude. It was so funny.
All right, do you want a second? Yeah. And I'll fucking sign it. Everybody after him probably just got the biggest attitude out of 50 people.
Yeah.
And just one guy is there just like, I'm sorry, I need a minute.
It was fucking funny, man. That's a great memory. I love that.
That would be me if I met Seth MacFarlane.
Yeah, there we go. Like, who do you melt in front of? Who, if you got to meet someone,
I've met a lot of.
You've met a lot of famous people, a lot more than I have.
I would fumble in front of Seth MacFarlane.
Because you watch Family Guy every day. But are you a fan of his other work?
Yeah.
Ted and everything?
Yes.
And what's the other one? He's got The Orville. Have you seen that?
Yes, I'm mad that he's leaving it.
Oh, I didn't even...
It's the only other thing outside of Family Guy that he's done so well that I can't live without it.
I haven't seen any of it. I don't know where it exists.
Hulu.
It's on Hulu?
It's Hulu.
Oh, shit. Okay. Well, I'll watch it. I'll give it a spin.
It's the best show. Period.
All right.
It's my favorite show.
All right.
Like, if they made as many episodes... Yeah, whatever.
It's not on Netflix anymore, so I can't watch it.
If they made as many episodes of Family Guy... the Orville
as Family Guy.
As they did of Family Guy, I'd watch that on repeat until forever.
That's awesome. I'll give it a spin. Who else? Anybody else?
No.
Just Seth MacFarlane. Well, you're more used to meeting famous people than me. I did.
He's made more of an impact on my life than anybody else in the world.
That's for me, that's Alexi, who we lost on last week.
Yeah.
That's why this week has been so hard for me. Like, the last celebrity death where I actually cried was Harold Ramis. Because he's my childhood. He's Egon. He meant so much to me. But this, here's the thing about, and of course Dio hit me really hard. But the thing about them, and I explained this on the Alexi episode, is that they were already that's not from my time. They were before me, and I kind of came in late and just grew to love them.
Yeah.
Alexi, I grew with. I discovered Children of Bodom fucking less than 8 years after their first album came out. Their first album comes out, I believe, in 1997. I discovered them in 2004 or 5. They became a band. They were doing
while
those.
You were alive.
Yeah. And then
Their
I go
whole
and
thing
then
has
I
been
go
while you were alive.
and then I go on to spend my entire concert career seeing them every chance I get. Like this was a band I feel like I came up with, and not only that, between Alexi and Axl Rose, I stole everything. Like I just tried to combine those two to look like them and play like them and sound like them. And it's so this is the first one where it's like that, where it's like my generation. Like these are my fucking people. Like this isn't from before my time. This is my time. And this is the first loss. Like, because, everybody in metal always talks about the big four: Anthrax, Slayer, Metallica, Megadeth. I had my own big three growing up. The most important 3 bands to me: Children of Bodom, Lamb of God, Devil Driver. And this is the first one that we've lost from any of them. Like, and it's hard, man.
AC/DC, Guns
But
N' Roses,
I'm saying,
Megadeth.
of course, yes. Of course, those bands too, huge. I love them.
I was just naming my own
Oh, okay.
rock or metal bands that would have.
Who'd you say? AC/DC, Guns, and Megadeth?
Yeah.
Yep. You like Lamb of God too,
Yeah, but
you probably don't listen to them as much.
yeah, like those 3 bands I listen to on a regular basis when they come on the radio.
Yep.
If
And they do
one-
frequently here.
if one of their
Q106
songs
has gotten good.
comes on my work radio, I no longer work.
You just rock.
It's a different form of work.
But yeah, so that's why this has just been so hard for me.
No
Like,
one appreciates the things that
he
I
was
do.
41, dude. He's only 11 years older than us.
Yeah. We're getting ready to see the biggest exit of our graduating class over the next 10 years.
What do you mean exit? What does that mean?
Death.
Oh God. Why? Why do you say that? From 30 to 40?
Yeah, 100%. That's when people that we know are going to start dying randomly from like weird shit.
I mean, we've already had quite a bit of that from car accidents, and we know a lot of people that have passed
So
we went to high school with.
Those are accidents. Not from like, oh, they died from
Like a
this.
health issue.
Yeah.
And that's what nobody knows what it is, but that's what Alexi had. I
Yeah.
personally believe it was maybe some sort of cancer, but
Yep.
I think it was probably a blood disease of some kind.
And that's what we're going to be saying about a whole bunch of our classmates over the next 10 years. That's what I'm talking about. We've lost a good handful of people.
Actually, yeah. Good
Some
people.
Great
Good
people.
fucking people. Yeah. People I'd liked a lot.
Stevie Biddle,
Whitney.
Whitney Jackson.
She was.
Whitney Jackson hit me hard, man.
Yeah. She was fucking awesome. And that was a car, but they were both car accidents, weren't they?
Yeah,
Yeah.
different kinds, but yeah.
I'm not ready for that.
We are about to start seeing
I'm not ready for that because I'm sitting here in a
the
world.
farewell tour of a whole bunch of our classmates dying from more or less natural causes.
Disease, yeah, I get what you're saying.
Yeah, health-related
issues. I'm not fucking ready for that because I'm sitting here in a world right now where, like, growing up our whole lives, 50 was you're dead. Like at 50, you're fucking decrepit. Your skin's hanging. Your hair's gray. Arthritis. You know, that's what the image was put in my head as a child growing up, is what I'm saying. That's all I'm saying.
That's only 19 years away.
But now we live in a world where Jennifer Lopez and Jennifer Aniston, two of the most beautiful women on the planet, are over 50. Joe Rogan, over 50. Fit as fuck and sharp as a knife. You know, like all these, like a lot. Kevin Smith, over 50. Just lost a ton of weight. Like, looking great. He's fucking all that. Like, he's, you know, it's changed. My point is the perspective is not what it was back in 1995. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, but 70 is still old.
Your mom makes it look young. She looks good, and she's very sharp. Like, she doesn't look... To me, I would have never put her at 70. I would have never put her at 70, ever.
Just ask her a question.
That's not age. That's lonely.
Yeah, you're right.
I got that...
100%, you're right.
Yeah. I got that back when I used to work at ACO. Like, you know... your total is $764. Cash or credit. Let me tell you about the first time I ever used a credit card.
It's funny that you ask that, because I was thinking about this earlier. The first time I ever used a credit card was back in 1988. You were probably just about being born then. And, well, they had just come out with these new things called credit cards.
And it's funny.
And I thought I'd get myself one of those. But then I also thought that maybe I shouldn't. Because, you know, why would I need a credit card when I could just pay for everything in cash? But, you know, they keep saying that cash is on its way out. And I didn't want to carry around all that cash anymore. And my pockets were heavy back then. And I sure am glad now that I don't carry that much cash, because my pockets would be too heavy for my belt.
Yeah. And I'll never forget it. Like, one of the first times that, well, not one of the first times probably, but one of the times that happened, I had a manager, still works at ACO to this day. Her name is Lori. Same birthday as me.
I talked to a black woman named Evelyn the other day who I thought was Evelyn, and it wasn't Evelyn because she came in and she was white.
What the fuck? Did not see that going there. Okay, anyway.
But yeah, like, it sounded like Evelyn. She talked like Evelyn. And then all of a sudden, it wasn't Evelyn.
I fucking miss her so much, dude. I actually think about her, like, almost every day. Because that's another one, man. Because she lives kind of far away. And I saw because I follow that store on Facebook. So I saw that they made a post where today's her last day. And then I was at work when I saw it. As soon as I got I was like, I don't fucking care about anything. I'm just going and to say goodbye to her. And she was already gone. So I never got to say goodbye. And that really bums me out. Because I think I don't know if she did already. I got to ask Brian next time I'm in there. But I know she was planning on moving to Florida. But then COVID happened. And I know that at least over the summer she was still here, but I don't know.
That was a great time to
How the fuck did we get onto this topic?
Batman.
Batman? You just threw that word out there. We haven't talked about Batman at all. Holy shit. Anyway. I literally have no idea how we just got there. Shit.
We were talking about, old people.
Your mom.
Credit
Ages.
cards.
There we go. There we go.
Ages.
Yes. There we go. Yeah, 50's not what it was when we were growing up, is what I'm saying.
Was 41.
So hopefully we don't see that. And now, and this is another thing that Aaron and I actually joke about a lot. Like, we joke about it in the context of metal and heavy metal musicians and things like that. Some of our favorite band members and stuff. But, I mean, I kind of feel as though it could be applied to more than that. But the joke that we make is like, isn't it funny that when like in the 90s and even in the early part of the 2000s when we were growing up, you know, if you're a metalhead, and I mean, but really this took hold big time in the 80s is really when it started. If you're a metalhead, you're Motley Crue, you're Ozzy, you're on drugs, you're fucking banging anything that moves, you're smoking anything you can smoke, you're snorting anything you can smoke, and or snorting and drinking anything you can drink. You're a wild man.
Smoking anything you can snort.
Yeah.
Snorting
Yeah.
anything you can smoke.
You're a wild man, right? That's the perception. That is the stereotype, right? And now, from basically really starting around 2008, like around 2008-10 to now, that narrative has shifted. All of our favorite metal musicians are sober for 10 years. Don't smoke anything, promote healthy lifestyles. Like, it's completely flipped. Like all of them. Like there's very few, like just party bands.
They were all dying.
Yeah, they all, and that's like we joke about it. We're like, what happened to the party in metal? But like at the same time, hey, like now we're gonna get to see hopefully Lamb of God when they're in their 50s, just like the Rolling fucking Stones still playing in their 70s, you know. Yeah, but they did more than anybody, so I don't know how the fuck they're still going, but it's insane. But it's just funny to me that narrative has completely, and it's, you know, I still indulge in certain things at certain times, but when it comes to like diet and exercise, I'm pretty good about that stuff. So, and it's in a large part because of them influencing, like me looking up to them and stuff. Holy fuck, dude. We have been off on some tangents tonight. And I think I started to say something earlier that I didn't finish. So back to the aliens. I started saying I saw a show once. Oh wait, no.
Oh yeah, the Orville.
No, Fact or Faked, about how they could build the pyramids and everything. I don't know, and I've said this before.
That was
so
the first 10 minutes,
dude, I gotta get my memory back. But I don't think I finished the sentence. It was that there was a show called Fact or Faked on Sci-Fi. You too. You first.
Well, yeah.
A long time ago, where they came and met up with a guy in Lapeer, fucking Michigan, and using sticks and rope had a pulley system set up to where he had the same size brick. He had multiple. One of them was the same size and dimensions and weight as Stonehenge. Another one as the ones in the Egyptian pyramids. Had them set up on a simple stick using nothing but sticks and rope on a pulley system, and could push that bitch with one fucking hand.
110%.
So if this guy can figure it out, you're goddamn right the ancient cultures and civilizations figured it out.
Goddamn right. A guy in the 21st century with access to tons of technologies and research can figure out how to do something that somebody
hundreds of years ago, thousands of years,
hundreds of years ago, with the help of alien intervention.
Oh my god.
Oh yeah, I guarantee that somebody thousands of years later, 1,000 years later, hundreds of years later,
figured out how to use sticks and rope.
That's
all they had, bro.
Bro. But where did they come from?
Where did what come from?
The stones that were made to make the pyramids of Giza are not from the area. You said that you had an answer for this the other day. They're from thousands of miles away.
Is that accurate? Thousands?
Maybe hundreds. They're from a long
like
distance
more than
away.
10?
Yeah. More than... Move that fucking brick 1 mile, bitch.
Okay,
Look,
hang on.
Yeah, sure. He found a way to set up a system where you can push it a few inches
Well,
by
and
hand.
lift and lower it and stuff.
Yeah.
So
A few fucking inches. Move that fucking bitch all the way up to the goddamn top of the pyramid.
But what I'm saying, they just build a bigger system.
Okay, yeah. Okay, now move it from where it is. Move it from... Move it from Holt to Okemos. And then tell me how it goes.
Yeah. No, there is, oh my God. You did just catch me off guard because there is something to, like, that has been explained. I just can't remember it.
You told me that it's been explained. You can't remember it because they don't know an answer.
Yeah, they do. That's explainable. You don't need aliens to do it. It was humans.
Aliens.
Nope.
Alien humans.
But...
were they immigrants?
So I just wanted to finish that thought. The other thought I wanted to finish that I haven't yet is this one little, okay. We were talking about, could it be just people, our technology that people are seeing, top secret technology, they're testing it, kind of makes a lot of sense. A lot of reports of unidentified flying objects are near or around Air Force bases or military installations of some kind. So
like Hawaii?
Exactly. So where and if you're going to have a secret fucking military experiment going on, you're going to test it there. So it makes sense.
Near places that are easier to pick up things that you're using it for.
Right.
Like observing islands and other...
Or, I mean, there's military installations all over this country. So everywhere. The desert, the fucking Pennsylvania.
Yeah.
Fucking,
but we've been talking about the Hawaiian
Wright
ones
Patterson
recently.
Air Force Base.
There's reasons that we're seeing these things around those areas.
This is what I'm saying. Now, do you know the name Bob Lazar?
Yeah.
Okay. You should watch the documentary on Netflix. It's very new. With less than 2 years old, probably. Now, this guy... had probably the most credible story that exists for multiple reasons. One, he's never said anything. He said, I have never seen I've never said that I saw any aliens. I never saw anything like that.
I never said that I saw an
No.
alien.
But what everything that he's ever said has actually been substantiated, except for pretty much one thing at this point.
That he saw an alien.
No, that he saw the craft, that he was brought into not Area 51. It was motherfucker. God damn it! I'm so bad with names. Another secret installation base, North Lake. God damn it.
Lake Tahoe?
No, I'm fucking forgetting. I might remember it in a second. But a different one. Oh, I thought I had it. No, it was a different one. Not Area 51. It was somewhere else. I think it was something Lake. But in any case, he was brought in. And, he described in great detail a lot of the, and this was a long time ago, keep in mind. This was 70s, 80s, I want to say. In great detail, a lot of the technology that he saw, and then he went public. Everybody thought he was crazy, and then all of it, over the years, everything has come out, and he was right. Everything is oh yeah, and I'm not talking about alien tech. I'm talking about our technology.
Yeah,
I'm not talking.
I know what you.
No, I'm talking about a hand scanner to open a door.
Yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Simple stuff like that.
I know what you're talking about, automated fucking pocket doors and shit like that.
Simple
hand
stuff.
Scanners.
That at the time
tablets and
sounded
things
crazy.
Like that. Yeah.
And then it all ended up being real. And then the biggest probably point to him is the element 151. He said they were because he's a physicist.
Okay.
And I think a particle physicist, and he was very, very intelligent man, has degrees from, I want to say Harvard, or Yale, I can't remember. But he described this element 151 15 or 20 years before it was announced that it exists. Officially.
How did he describe it?
I gotta watch the documentary. Like I can't remember all the details.
He
said this thing exists that does this, that acts this way. Everybody said you're crazy. 15 years later, they're like, oh, we just discovered element 151. And it does everything that Bob Lazar said. What do you mean, no? Why are you shaking your head? This is the timeline of events. I'm telling you exactly what happened.
So the periodic table is understandable, and also elements on it are pretty reasonable to like make assumptions about things that we don't, elements that we don't know, because they behave in certain ways based on where they are on the periodic table, and you can make assumptions based on them, based on the elements, because it's just what if I added one electron or one proton or one neutron to this, what would it be then?
Okay, hold on. Let's.
Yeah, no, you can pull up his.
I just want to. Because I don't know. I'm trying to remember because I think there was something specific. So go on.
You can pull up his ideas, but a lot of this.
115. It was element 115, not 151. Sorry, that's one thing I've already gotten wrong. Go on.
You can pull up his ideas on it, but like a lot of these hypotheses that are proven to be right about like elements that we didn't know about have been done on so many other elements already.
Well, but the point is right here.
Experienced these things.
Element 115, the infamous alien element mentioned by Bob Lazar over a decade ago, is officially added to the periodic table. So he saw something when he went to this secret base that had not been discovered yet. And now it's added to the periodic table.
No, based on his research, he had a theory on an element that he understood could be a realistic phenomenon in the universe. If you look at the periodic table and assume that this element exists, you can understand how it would behave based on its chemical properties.
Okay, but hang on.
Or atomic properties, however you want to say it.
Here, let me just read this paragraph real quick.
Whichever the right way to say it is.
With atomic numbers of 113, 115, 117, and 118, the International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry announced the addition of these four elements to the periodic table. But one of them, element 115, was already announced in 1989 when Bob Lazar, famous Area 51 whistleblower, revealed to the public, again, I don't think, Groom Lake. That's what I'm thinking of. I think it was Groom Lake, not Area 51. Whistleblower revealed to the public that the UFOs possessed by the government were powered by a mysterious element 115. Of course, at the time, the claims made by Lazar were tagged as absurd, as the scientific community had no knowledge of element 115. In 2003, his statement gained more credibility when a group of Russian scientists managed to create the elusive element, and now, 12 years later, after that achievement, the discovery of element 115 was finally confirmed after numerous tests which verified its existence. However, the scientific version of element 115, here we go, drastically differs from what Lazar had described over the years. Since, according to the reports, the element decays in less than a second and cannot be utilized for anything. Or maybe we just have a rudimentary version of it. Unobtainium. It's unpentium. Pentium. Pentium. The temporary name for element 115 is an extremely radioactive element. Its most stable isotope, Pentium 289, has half the life decay of only 220 milliseconds. Okay, so
So his theory.
So he said something, but then he said this thing exists, it acts this way, but then when we were able to recreate it, it didn't act that way.
So
that's it. So what does that mean? I don't know. But okay.
So no. Time out and let's rewind for a moment.
All right.
An atomic number, so the name of an atom, is based on the number of protons that are found in the nucleus of that atom. So, atom 115 has 115 protons in the nucleus versus atom 1, hydrogen, which has 1, or helium, which has 2. Mm-hmm. It's just the number, the numerical sequence of an atomic element that has a certain number of protons in the nucleus. All that he did was say, I saw somebody use something that has more protons than what we know about. That's all that he did. And he was wrong about everything else.
Possibly.
You just read that.
I know.
You just read
okay.
that.
Okay, yeah, but I just read that because I Googled, searched, and clicked on the first thing. I don't know how credible this... I don't even know what... intechbearing.com? I don't know.
That may or may not be credible, but the moral of the story is that people can theorize about any element that they want.
Yeah.
And based on reasonable assumptions and with enough education regarding the subjects, you can make an educated guess on how that substance will behave and what properties it will have.
But regardless of that whole element 115 thing, there were other things that he did see and describe that proved to be real years later.
I also describe a lot of things that aren't real.
No, but I'm saying like he just said he had this experience. Like that's the thing about this guy is that he's never made a fucking dime off of his story, and in fact he's been routinely discredited and people have tried to fuck him over for it on a regular basis. He's actually had a much harder life because he went public. So it's not like, oh, I went public to get, you know what I mean? So there's that and the other stuff, you know, and it's not as significant. And there are certain things in his story that haven't proven to be real yet, because the big thing that he saw wasn't an alien. It was simply a craft that, according to him, was impossible for us at that time.
Here's my take on this. And this is the thing that I feel like people need to take into account more often when examining things like these. There are lots of people in the world who are a lot like me. I love lying. I love making shit up. I love fabricating stories. I love imagining things and supposing that they're real and just convincing other people that they are. Do you remember how much you believed that I might have had a grill here already?
Was that... Well, it had to have been recently, so no.
Somewhat recently. I told you that I had a grill. For no reason. For no reason. I got no monetary gain out of this. I got nothing from telling you, from lying to you.
Right.
About
you got
something that existed.
Nothing. You didn't get fired from a job. You didn't get any negative reaction. You got nothing.
I got negative reaction. Both you and your wife, both you and my wife.
I do not have a wife.
Told me to go fuck off.
I do not have a wife.
Both you and my wife told me that I was an asshole.
Yeah, okay.
Because I was.
This ruined this man's life.
Yeah, agreed.
Like, he has been threatened. He's had to move.
Yeah.
Like, he is... Like, here's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think he's a liar. Maybe he's wrong about certain things. I think
he's wrong about certain things.
But I do think he's an honest man and a very intelligent man. He didn't even let Joe, when he got on the Joe Rogan podcast, he did not let Joe, for the record, by the way, Bob Lazar lives in Michigan. But he did not let Joe Rogan pay for his flight to Los Angeles to be on the show because he was worried that people would say, oh, you got Joe Rogan to pay for you to fucking whatever. Like he paid his own way out there, and doesn't, and is a very, he's a recluse. He does not like talking about this stuff. The documentary, the guy that made the documentary had to convince him to do it, and during the course of the filming of the fucking documentary, his house, Bob Lazar's house, was raided by the FBI, and they never gave a reason. But they knew he was doing a documentary. So I mean, I look.
Everything I would do if I was doing the long-term con.
No, dude. Okay, so you just assume he's. I mean, okay.
I mean,
maybe. Like, I can't sit here and say I rule it out. I don't think that, though.
I hate people, and I hate interacting with people.
But that's your job.
Yeah, I know, it sucks.
Hang on, though. That's the job you've chosen.
Yeah.
More than once.
Yeah. I used to love people.
I think you still do.
I do still like people. Just not in the aspect that I'm currently working with them. That's more of a personal. That's more of a personal problem.
Because I was going somewhere with that, but do your thing first.
You can ruin your life for the sheer goal of doing that. So they made a documentary about him, right?
There's been many made over the years, but there's a recent one that's very good.
And he didn't get any money from those, right?
I don't know.
Yeah, I highly doubt that documentaries that either involved him or that were made about him paid him any money whatsoever.
You're being sarcastic, right?
100%. Yeah. And 10, actually. We can probably add that extra 10% in.
Okay, but if you had to be... Okay, so someone comes to you offering you money for a documentary.
Yeah.
Do you immediately say yes or no?
Yeah.
Well,
How much money is it?
Do that.
How much money is it?
Like, it took the documentary filmmaker who I'm sorry, I can't remember your name right now. God damn it, I wish I could. I'm so bad with names.
Took them more time and more money.
Dude, hang on. They go into this on the Rogan podcast, and I can't remember the details. It's been a while since I saw the episode.
You don't know how much money they offered him originally, and if
any. Like, maybe he didn't take it. Look, I'm not ruling out the possibility he didn't make any money off of it. I'm not ruling that out because the filmmaker is not. He ain't Steven Spielberg. You know what I mean? He's a pretty normal guy like us. Like, I can't imagine. Like, you know, he probably has more money than us, but like, I can't imagine him having that much more money than us. Or, well, yes, I can, than me, but than the average person, at least, than the middle-class American. I don't know.
Okay, if he's making a living off of making documentaries on people.
A living is not rich. You make a living? Are you fucking kidding me? You make way more of a living than I do. Like, this shit right here on this table, this shit right here, my lizard and my guitar are the most valuable, and my car are the most valuable things I own. You own a castle. Like, and you're not worried about it. Like, you own TVs and stuff like that. Like, a living is not rich.
So,
it's not enough to pay someone off to be in your movie. That's going to be on Netflix that millions of people are going to see.
Yes and no.
I don't know.
I agree with you.
I'm just playing a devil's advocate.
I agree with you there.
I can't remember. And I should. This is a good argument.
Doesn't necessarily make a living, but...
I mean, touring musicians and comedians don't make that much money. Like,
yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Like,
but touring musicians and comedians aren't making a hour-long documentary on Netflix.
Yeah, they are. Like a lot of them have documentaries about themselves, but
On
like
Netflix?
Amazon Prime at least. Like the Cannibal Corpse documentary, some Children of Bodom documentaries. But these are bands that were they're world famous, but not rich. Not like crazy.
Yeah.
They make a good upper middle class living if they play their cards right, if they're lucky.
Upper middle class living for Children of Bodom?
I mean, I know Alexi.
I bet they all have at least a $1 million home.
No, absolutely not. No.
Yeah.
Because Children of Bodom, I don't think was ever as big as Cannibal Corpse, and I know nobody in Cannibal Corpse has $1 million home. People have these misconceptions about these musicians, dude. That they're just because you fucking see them on tour all the time and they're releasing albums all the time, you think they're fucking rich. They're not, because metal isn't that big. It's huge. It is huge, but it's not as big as Madonna.
Not necessarily rich, but
Miley Cyrus has 8 fucking houses throughout the world.
Yeah.
These bands do not. They got one with their family.
Well, what are they doing wrong?
They're metalheads. They're metal musicians. That's what. Because more people can listen to Miley Cyrus and like it than Fucked with a Knife by Cannibal Corpse.
So what we really need is Cannibal Corpse to do backup for Miley Cyrus.
You know what? I'm not going to lie. Fuck everybody. I don't like Miley Cyrus. I like Miley Cyrus's voice, but I don't really like her music. But I respect her as an artist because she's a fucking rebel.
What would Wrecking Ball sound like with Cannibal Corpse?
What's the line? I came in like a wrecking ball.
Right.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
Like, that was kind of more Lamb of God-ish.
I came in like a...
I can't. Corpse Grinder.
The richest part.
Yeah, there we go.
I came in like a wrecking ball.
There we go.
But as a background.
I don't know what that sounds like. Metal singers are at the front. I don't know what that is as a background.
It would more or less be like them murdering Miley Cyrus on stage.
Guar's done that.
What?
Every time. Are you kidding me? Guar has murdered a lot of people on stage. I've seen Guar rip Britney Spears' limbs off on stage.
Okay.
It's a doll, but it's...
It would be a lot cooler if it were real.
No, it kind of wouldn't. I don't want to actually see somebody I'm not into that. Jesus.
Why not?
I don't like watching people die. It makes me very uncomfortable.
I'd like to.
You're fucking weird.
Can we cut this out?
Nope. Unedited, baby. But it's like 2 hours in, so nobody's going to be watching at this point anyway.
Nobody just saw me admit that I would love to watch a murder. Would love to.
What does it say? Seriously, how long have we been going?
2 hours. 2.5.
Yeah, I feel like it's 2.5. Yeah. All right, we should probably wrap this up.
And that's it, folks. Thank you for tuning in today.
No. Slow down.
Monday, October 31st.
Jesus Christ, it's...
2023.
We are still in a pandemic, and somehow Trump is still president. I don't know.
Happy Halloween.
Oh, my God. All right.
The worst part is that's probably what is going to happen.
It's day 266 of 2020.
Welcome back, everybody. It's December 578. We just want to bring this new Lamb of God album to you. It's okay.
Lamb of God.
It's mediocre at best.
The real motherfucking hate crew.
They're really sad.
It's all ballads.
It's mostly ballads.
Nobody's angry anymore. Everybody's just sad. Everybody's just sad. Metal has gone to all ballads. Every subgenre. Oh my god, that'd be hilarious. Oh no, it wouldn't. That'd be fucking horrible.
That'd be fucking hilarious.
Oh my god. But all right, let's round this one out. So we've talked a lot about extraterrestrials tonight.
Yes.
I have gone through the gambit. I have gone through fully believing in everything to not believing in hardly anything to now I'm at the point where I just don't know anymore.
I thoroughly believe that Oumuamua.
You thoroughly believe what about that? Because NASA says it was a rock.
Is the most interesting thing that has happened in our solar system in our lifetimes.
I don't agree with that. Because...
Well, you're an asshole.
Why do you think that? Sell me.
It's the only thing that we know of that has come from another star system.
Are we sure about that?
So, astronomers around the world found this tiny object zipping through our solar system.
Very fast. I need to dive deeper into that Wikipedia page because it didn't mention this speed that I saw. But I only read like the first 2 paragraphs.
It took probably a year for it to like fully come in and then leave like the sphere that we would be able to observe it in. And we found it 40 days on its exit.
Right.
That's fast, considering that we revolve around the sun in a year.
Yeah.
That's a fast object.
Yeah.
That,
So you don't think it was a rock? Like NASA?
I think that, no, it's probably a rock. But that's still the most fascinating thing that I've ever heard of. That's a rock from somewhere else that just dipped in and dipped the fuck out of nowhere. We don't know what star system it came from.
And that's more fascinating to you than the Tic Tac UFO.
100%. Tic Tac doesn't mean anything to me. That's a non-provable. That's just, so a guy said, "Oh yeah, I saw something."
No. It's not a guy said I saw something. That is a fighter pilot who was scrambled to chase something.
Okay.
And saw it with his own eyes and filmed it doing impossible things on camera. Impossible according to physics.
A guy with references said that he saw something weird.
And it's not just him. There were other pilots. He wasn't the only one scrambled. Like, there were others with him seeing this. They saw it on radar. Like, and nobody can explain it.
It's weird.
Like, to me, that's the most credible unidentified flying object sighting. There's Betty and Barney Hill, but this one's right up there.
It is definitely something that we have not identified and is a flying object.
Not only flying, but went underwater, too. It, like, dipped underwater, came out, and then did, like, movements that can't be done.
How large was it?
Can't remember. They did have a thing on that, though. I mean, it was. I remember thinking when I heard it said. I remember thinking. I mean, that's large enough for a person, maybe, but a person. So it's like if I had to guess, it'd be a probe, like we were talking about earlier, like a drone.
Yeah.
But we don't have any. But then again, my point with the whole fucking Bob Lazar thing is that if his story, if he saw that craft, then maybe it is our technology. You know?
Most of those I account to human technology.
And that's what I'm saying. Right. That's the whole reason why I brought up Bob Lazar was because maybe they were just showing him.
How old is he?
I don't fucking know. Let's find out. Bob Lazar Wikipedia. Here we go. He was born in 1959.
Yeah. That guy might not have the best understanding of...
He was 10 years old when we landed on the moon.
Yeah.
He's 61.
Yeah. I'm...
Born in Florida.
I'm definitely gonna have some skepticism
I
regarding his eyewitness account.
He was brought in,
He's a Floridian.
Though. He didn't live there for long, I don't think, because he lives in Michigan now.
Yeah.
But he was brought in.
Isn't it weird that most of our older population moves down there?
No. Well, no, it's not weird.
He moved up here.
But he was like, this isn't like he was brought like 100%. He was okay. There are certain parts of his story that are 100%. You can fact check it.
Yeah, I'm sure that he saw something out there, and I'm sure that his story is credible. I highly doubt that what he saw was extraterrestrial.
That's what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying, is that maybe they were just showing him some crazy shit that we had at that point in time.
I think that he's a 59-year-old man who saw something that... Oh, my...
Whoa.
That doesn't...
He went public in the 80s. So he was much younger.
That defies... Okay.
He's been having to live... And he was already... Dude, he built a fucking rocket in his garage. Like, before he was ever... Like, that... He got into a local newspaper out in, like, New Mexico or something where he was living at the time.
It's not hard to build a rocket.
No. He built some, like, crazy fucking rocket-propelled thing that was just, it's not that insane, but it was crazy enough to make that. He was smart enough to do that.
It's not that hard to make that, though.
But he was a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
He was literally a rocket scientist. Literally a rocket scientist.
Yeah.
So he was brought in to look at this thing.
And he was an American rocket scientist that was looking at technology from another country that he didn't understand and said was physically impossible based on his understanding of what he could do with current technology.
You're saying it could have been from our country, though.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah, I agree with you. I agree. What he saw, according to him, was impossible because of physics. But he also did this in the 80s, and maybe they were hiding shit.
Helicopters should be impossible because of physics.
Why?
The way that they fly is wrong. Like, helicopters are an abnormality that really shouldn't exist, but, like, physics, like, it does allow it. Like, they work.
Well, if physics allows it, then how can...
It's a weird flying machine, a helicopter.
It is weird.
The way that it works, the way that it stabilizes itself, and the way that you control it, and the flight patterns that it creates are weird. And to somebody that didn't understand how a helicopter could fly when you're used to rockets and other things like that, could very easily look at a helicopter and say, that's wrong. That shouldn't physically be able to work.
So, hang on.
I'm not saying that you saw a helicopter. I'm giving an abstract example of
No, it's a good example.
helicopters are actually a weird example of physics that, by definition, should almost not work.
Huh.
But they do.
So, this is kind of the point I'm trying to make, is that he maybe just saw some new technology that we invented with no help from the extraterrestrials that he couldn't explain because he'd never seen it before. It should be impossible, but yet we invented it. And they were showing it to him to get his opinion for whatever reason. You know, he's a fucking rocket scientist. And I think earlier I said he might have been a particle physicist. He might be now. I don't know what he's working on now. He has a thing here in Michigan. But anyway,
rocket scientist, particle physicist.
I can't remember. I know he was a rocket scientist. I don't know if he's a particle. I might have fucked that up earlier.
I heard he was a geologist.
No, I don't think so. But you know, you didn't. But you fucking. But that's my point. Is that it might. And like we said earlier, I was like, you were like, where these people are seeing technology advance from other countries. Why can't it be us? Why isn't it? It could be our technology that's just above top secret. Yeah, is all I'm saying.
So,
and I think his story could lend credibility to that.
Here's my theory on why it would be another country. You get into higher and higher levels of education, and you're going to naturally be more involved in the higher security chains of those informations. So when you get into a certain level of rocket science, you're going to be communicating with the people in your country who know the most about rocket science, for instance. Those are the people that would know about new technologies and theoretical technologies that are already in use. That would disobey physics in certain ways that you might not understand. When it's with another country, it's possible but less likely that you would have an access or information regarding their protocols and understanding of some of those higher levels.
Okay.
I would assume that if you live in the U.S., that you probably have a better understanding, knowledge of, and experience with more U.S.-related technology when it comes to that. That's an assumption, though.
Yeah, but who the fuck... Now, see, here's my thing, is we're talking about national security. A lot of this stuff, a lot of these aircrafts that are reported to be seen, if a government agency had them, if it was them, that's extremely valuable.
Yeah.
Something that can go undetected, move in impossible ways, that is very valuable. So why would we not keep? Of course we'd keep that a secret. That's national security. Our government, it's well known, everybody knows this, spends more on military defense exponentially than multiple of the other countries that spend more on national defense combined.
And what do you already know about? You know about
Right.
this. You know about the stealth bomber and all
Right.
the technology going into how it reflects. So the stealth bomber is set up in a way where most like sonar and radar technology bounces off of it in an obscure pattern that disables it from going back to the original source in an efficient way. So it's harder to detect. That's
Right.
why it's a stealth bomber. You can see
And
it
it
with,
still works.
you can see it with
as far
your
as we
eyes.
know.
You can see it with whatever you want to optically.
And it doesn't
look at
fly
it
in
with.
impossible ways. It flies like a normal plane.
Yeah.
Fighter plane.
But
bomber.
we've been working on technologies for. That's an old form of tech.
Very old at this point. Very old. And that's what we know about.
So where are we at now that they aren't telling
Right.
people?
Right.
None
Exactly.
of this is extraterrestrial.
It's kind of where I'm at too. It's kind of like, and I didn't even intend to sit down here and like, and I don't think we're saying, like, we're not saying.
The only extraterrestrial thing that has entered our solar system in our lifetimes that we know about
Was
Oumuamua.
I don't necessarily agree with that. I do think
That
that
we know about
we know about publicly.
and privately.
I think. I mean, we know for a fact they're keeping secrets from us. So why? Like, okay, for national security interest,
They're keeping
if an
military
extra
secrets from us.
yes,
So that's it.
and that's part of it, dude. If an extraterrestrial object entered our airspace undetected, but then we ended up seeing that it was there or something, that is a big problem for national security.
An extraterrestrial?
A probe.
And they knew about it and didn't tell us.
That's what I'm. Yeah,
Yeah, I can see that.
that's all I'm saying. Like, I'm not. I think for a lot of the
Can you imagine the guy that had to be like, Mr. President, we encountered an alien probe?
I don't think that's a thing. I think this is above top secret. I don't think they tell the president. I don't think the president has a need to know on this.
Okay, so who saw it and who told who?
This is all military. Every square centimeter
Then why do we have
I
a Space
believe,
Force?
well, because Donald Trump's a little unstable. I don't know. Or maybe he does know something that we don't and feels the need to do that. I don't know. But
You think COVID-19 is an alien plague?
absolutely not. I don't know where it came from. I don't know if it was a natural thing or if it came from a lab. I don't fucking know. I'm not saying nothing about that, but I do know that it's a real disease that kills real people. And that's fucked. Like, that's what I know. Because it's gotten to the point, me and Josh, my roommate, felt lucky for a long time that like we were sitting there like, everybody's we're on lockdown. Everybody's on freaking out about this COVID-19. Do you know anybody that? No. Do you know anybody that? No. Now we know a handful of people
I know tons.
that have it. And it's a very real thing. And it's very scary. Was it created in a lab? Was it a natural thing? I have no fucking idea. And I don't care either. All I know is that it is real. It is killing people. And I'm not trying to be a murderer. So I'm going to take my precautions. But do I think that they? I don't know. I think a lot of the popular stories, your Bob Lazars, your Roswells, a lot of, like, when you mention to someone who has never researched UFOs or anything like this in any way, if you mention these, if you say Area 51, they're like, oh, you need to, they'll know. If you mention Roswell, they'll know that story at least. I think a lot of those stories are not I think a lot of those stories are explainable by human. The building of the Stonehenge or the pyramids. I think a lot of these stories are that, like, ancient alien people or alien people in general, conspiracy theorists point to this. I think a lot of that is we can explain this. Like, it's not we don't need extraterrestrials to explain this. I think a lot of those stories.
The only thing that I don't think can be explained is the number of civilizations across the world with no communication with each other that developed similar strategies for creating pyramids and other monolithic exploitations of building structures in similar patterns around the world all at the same time. All at the same time. That
works for me, actually. I think I can explain that. Like,
weird.
It's human beings
developing. No, because cultures develop at different rates, depending on the resources and depending on so many different factors.
Right, but if you look at a lot of these cultures that built these structures, they had similar resources at that point in time.
Yeah, desert and rainforest, totally similar resources. I know.
Okay, well, that's a whole. Hang on.
It was a much more palatable environment at the time.
No, well, that's a whole other thing. Is I don't think the pyramids and the Sphinx. I think our carbon dating on that is completely wrong, because we actually have physical evidence of water erosion on those structures that science, like the current geologists, just don't accept. They just, it's this many years old. Never mind the water erosion that you see on it. So I think those structures are actually a lot older than most people think, than current science accepts. And
no, because the Egyptians actually had historic records of when those were built.
Okay, I can't speak to that. I don't know about that. But what I'm saying is that what I'm saying is that I think that the stuff in Egypt, and it's not just Egypt and Mexico and South America, it's other places in the world too. China, I think New Zealand has some stuff like that. But I think I think the world looked very different when these structures were built, and I don't think we have a complete understanding of that in terms of the resources that they actually had at the time. We just look at it as it is now. And but at the end of the day, the thing I said earlier still holds true. Their favorite TV show was The fucking Stars. So of course they're going to build stuff to that.
Yeah, they're all going to build things related to the stars in their locations. But why do so many cultures at the same time develop such similar building strategies?
It does from the outside, it does seem like maybe they were communicating somehow, and that should be impossible for that point in time, right?
I don't think that they were communicating somehow. I think that somebody else was communicating to them.
I don't.
Somebody else was giving them instructions.
I've done. Look, and I could be totally fucked about this. I could be off. I could be wrong. But there are scientists out there, more than one, a lot more than one, who they're like the stuff that shit is currently dated at is completely off. Like human beings were a lot more advanced much earlier than we give them credit for, and then those civilizations were wiped the fuck out by natural disasters, and people were left to pick up the pieces, and that's what we've got. That's the historical record that we have of the people that left to pick up the pieces, because that's where we get all these flood stories from and all these destruction stories from. Pompeii, asteroids, floods, like all this stuff that wiped out civilizations.
We haven't had major disasters that have wiped out civilizations globally for some time, though.
Continentally.
Yeah.
And that's huge. Like and that's part of this, is that there are, dude, and this is actually crazy, because like this is just random, but like, okay, do you know who Tom Green is? You know, the comedian?
Yeah.
Yeah. So for the last year, he's been living in a custom van. He got a dog, and he's been just traveling the United States. And he's been documenting everything.
COVID.
Just because he can't be on tour, he can't be making movies, so he's just doing his thing. And he fucking went to this place in New Mexico. Like, we think we got bad potholes here. Like, the road that he had to take to get to this thing was insane, and it was this like a structure that I didn't even know existed within the United States, an ancient structure that I did not know was here. Like, I didn't know people built that kind of shit here. It was insane. And
is it one of the Native American pyramids?
No, it's not a pyramid. It's like out like in New Mexico somewhere, though. It's out in the desert in the middle of fucking nowhere.
Is
but
it
it's
a
like,
hill?
No. But when I saw it, I was like, how the fuck is this not a major? How is this road so fucked? And how is this not? How does he not have to pay $20 to get in here right now? How is this not a huge fucking tourist attraction? This is insane. And so I don't know really anything about that particular site, but what I do know is that there are sites that date way, way back in certain places. And there's also very physical evidence of gigantic somethings, meteorite, asteroid, whatever, hitting North America at certain points in time that would have wiped out whatever life was in the area. So it's very, very possible that we were far more advanced at a much... That's why I think humans built the pyramids, because we were far more advanced at a much earlier age than current science gives it credit for.
I disagree.
Why?
Because carbon dating is useful for a lot of the resources that humans have been making and using, along with the human remnants that we've been able to find.
I'm not saying they had cell phones or TVs. I'm just saying they had the ability to build shit.
Yeah.
Do shit. Sorry about that, everyone. Sorry about that. I didn't know I didn't know that the fucking...
First time ever.
Yeah, apparently this thing stops recording after 3 hours. So, and I didn't see that. So you guys just, heard me talking about the Tom Green thing. He discovered this crazy thing in the middle of buttfuck nowhere, like New Mexico. All I'm saying is I think that,
aliens.
No.
That's what BJ was saying.
No, it's not what I was saying.
Aliens are responsible for all of human existence.
Well,
welcome to Lost in the Dark. Thank you. Have a good night.
I mean, we don't know how we got here, so it could be.
100%.
We could be the aliens.
That was the point of this entire thing. We are the aliens.
We could. I mean, that is a very plausible. Do you think it's plausible?
That we're the aliens?
Like that? No, that like at a point in time, let's say, for example, let's say the asteroid just killed the dinosaurs. Let's say that theory is sound. Let's say that's what happened, just for fun.
Okay.
And that asteroid had some sort of DNA on it.
No.
that ended up evolving into us.
All the way around. Asteroids killed dinosaurs, yeah, for sure. But the dinosaurs and all life before it were brought to Earth by some other meteorite or something else that carried pre-existing life on it, that evolved into fish and evolved into us and evolved into dinosaurs. Not in that order, but
wait, what?
Basic life, like single cellular life.
Yeah, that's all I'm saying. But like, you don't think it's the asteroid? Like, it was an asteroid before the dinosaurs?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Because that's how life was brought to the planet Earth, or else it would just be this weird wet ball with nothing else on it.
I can see that.
That's actually a popular hypothesis for how life propagates throughout the universe.
Panspermia?
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. I co-sign that one all day. I think that is, as of right now, that seems to be the most logical explanation.
So all that we have to do is come on a whole bunch of rocks and throw them into space and we'll be good.
I like that. Let's start coming on rocks, bro.
Lost the dart.
Come on rocks.
Come on rocks. That's metal.
Yeah. Cheers. All right. You know what? Apparently this is 3 hours long. We gotta fucking wrap this up. This was a great conversation.
Mediocre at best.
We don't have... Jordan doesn't think aliens are here. I don't know where I stand on it. But I'm just really glad I finally got to talk to you about all this stuff. Like, this was fucking awesome, man. And thank you.
Look up Oumuamua.
Oumuamua, yeah. Look up Oumuamua.
That's real.
Look up the fucking recent...
Those are the aliens that are looking for us right now.
Look up the Tic Tac videos if you haven't seen them yet. Sure,
they're coming.
Look up the fucking recent blue thing in Hawaii.
Just like we are.
That was literally 2 days ago. You know, and that's the other thing is you know, with the fact that everybody has a fucking banging ass phone in their pocket or camera in their pocket all day. Now all of a sudden, anytime anybody sees something, you can it's never been like that before.
And
so now we're getting
on track the whole time.
Absolutely, they are listening. They're probably our number one fans, and we don't even.
You think Trump likes this?
No, because I don't like him. So I doubt.
I mean, just because you don't like him doesn't mean he doesn't like you.
Yeah, I think that's exactly what that means.
That's unrequited
love.
love.
I think he hates anybody that doesn't like him, and I think he hates anybody that's poor.
That's unrequited
I'm
love.
both of those things.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you are, but...
I'm both of those things. So, it's... Yeah. That's... Yeah.
Aren't we
Fuck
all,
that
though?
guy. No. But, most of us. But, no. But, alright. Let's wrap this up. Aliens. This was fun. Dude... We got to do this more often.
Aliens.
This was the shit. This was the shit. Don't let something pop out of your chest.
Fuck. Cunt. Bitch. Shit.
Motherfucking goddamn piece of fucking motherfucking goddamn shithead asshole piece of fucking cunt. What the fuck?
All this will be censored in the new release of Lost in the Dark.
Did I tell you that? It's not gonna be.
Oh. Well, shit. Well, fuck, kids. You better go to bed.
All right. Yeah. Let's be done with this. I fucking love you, man. Thank you so much for being on this episode. This is episode, I think, 171.
Are you talking to me or them?
You. This will be 171.
Thanks for having me on.
Dude, I want you on more. Like,
After this, we're staying up late and playing Civilization.
I thought you'd want to play Kerbal, but
Motherfucker.
this is this for me. This was a genuine, absolute treat. Yeah, you're one of my best friends in the world, and it means the world to me every time you're on this, my little fucking show here. So, these are hands down some of my favorite episodes, man. Like when because the conversations that you and I used to have in the fucking car driving around are what inspired me to start this podcast. Like that's
the only reason that I'm not on as much anymore. No, I'm not on as that much is because I think I'm boring.
Oh my god.
You've met my wife.
You don't know.
That's
you don't,
who I've become. I don't think about
Let me ask you something.
Life anymore.
Have you ever watched any of these?
Yeah, actually I have.
Have you ever watched one with you on it?
Yes. I got about 20 minutes into one of the ones with me, and I hated it.
Okay. Well, yeah, some people don't like seeing themselves.
Because I am the most boring person in the world.
Well, that's fucking insane that you think that, because to me, you're one of the most interesting people in the world, and I cannot... You're pretty much the only person in the world that I know that I feel like no matter what, I can always have a conversation with you.
So we'll end this with the story that made us become friends.
Oh.
In high school, we started eating lunch together, and within the first few days, I told you about the story of my hunting trip with my uncle. And we walked out into the woods on the farm, which is a 100-acre property, like an hour away from here, 45 minutes away from here. Yeah. And me and my uncle walked back into the woods. We didn't really see too much. And on the way back up to the farm, we get out to like the clearing, which is at the top of the hill, right before you walk down the path to go to like the main buildings of like the farm and like the house. And my uncle puts his arm out and stops me and gets his shotgun up and fires off into the bushes. I have no idea what he's doing. I just think that my uncle is some crazy guy who stopped a young child in the middle of nowhere just to shoot his gun. And he walks over into the bushes and pulls out a rabbit by the ears whose skull is missing. Because he had blown the rabbit's head off, and all that was attached were ears, skin, and body. And he had shot the skull off of a fucking rabbit that he didn't see. He just heard it moving. That was the story that you, as a 14-year-old boy, found so funny that you wanted to be my friend.
And that's I'll never forget. Like, you were the funniest person that I ever met at one point in time. Like, I mean, probably even still, honestly. But yeah, that is. I remember going home from school one day and telling my mom, like, I met this new friend. His name is Jordan. He's the funniest guy I've ever met. Because it was the way that you described it. Like, you milked that story back then. I remember it being much longer. And yeah, dude. No, you fucking destroyed me. You were the funniest fucking person. You probably are the funniest person I've ever met. So, yeah. That's... And then we fucking, didn't you come over to go to a movie and we played catch and that was all she wrote?
We used to walk to the movie theater in the middle of fucking winter.
Yep.
Walk 3 miles back to your house in negative 20-degree weather when the school's shut down.
Yep.
Because we showed up and the school closed after we got there.
That too. That happened. Yep.
Well, what do we do now? Walk home. Because the buses are done.
Yep. Walk to the movie theater.
The bus dropped you off and it wouldn't take you back home.
Yep. It was fucking crazy, dude. We actually,
can't believe we're still alive.
For growing up when we did, like, we actually did some pretty fucking crazy shit. Like, I just told somebody the story the other day about the time we almost died when we were driving around and we went off the road and we didn't know it and there was a tree.
We didn't almost die.
Oh, we almost died.
No.
If we had hit that tree, we would be dead right now.
Yeah, if we had hit that tree. We didn't hit the tree, though, so we lived fully.
I will never forget that.
Almost dying is like,
crazy.
We hit the tree and we were in the hospital for months.
That was, yeah, but I will never forget you adjusting your glasses and then boom, and then the car just bounced out of the ditch back onto the road. That was the craziest fucking thing. I went, bro, you look up and you adjusted your glasses. That's the part I will never forget, is the adjusting of the glasses. And then you just go,
you need to see what you're doing.
You just went, and the car, the body of the car went below the wheels, hit the ground, and bounced onto the road. Okay.
That's probably why I went through 2 years without heat.
I don't fucking brag about anything. I don't ever really say I'm good at anything or whatever, but I know I am a really good fucking driver. And the only driver I know that's as good as me is you. Like, there is not a single human on this planet that I feel safer being in the passenger seat with than you. Hands down. Like, no question.
The blind guy.
Yeah. Like, and you have eye problems. So, like, that's even, like, but you have that sense. You have that sense. And, yeah, absolutely no question.
I just like driving. I've always liked driving.
And man,
it made me a good driver because I like driving.
And I don't know.
If you like doing something, you become infinitely better at it.
Well, yeah, and then when you had your Ford Explorer,
I'm gonna get another Explorer.
You
Enterprise.
Like we would just, you got that. God damn, we did so many things to that car. You're like, hey, look at the snow pile. Let's try to drive up it. Hey, look at this thing. Let's try to drive over it. And then we get stuck.
At the end of that car's existence, because it definitely got scrapped after me.
There's never been a car we destroyed more than that one. For sure.
I
fucked that thing up.
I drove to jury duty for a week straight with no heat in February.
Well, when I had that van, the Windstar.
Yeah.
When I got it, it didn't have heat. So my first year or two at LCC, I drove every day without heat. So I had and I didn't park in the fucking garages. I parked a block away. So I drove to school without heat, got out, walked to class for 3 blocks without heat.
Things I've learned from working in a Ford dealership. Most of the Windstar issues were a programming issue where you could reinitialize.
No, this was a vehicle that had been in a demolishing accident and was entire. Remember, dude, it had buttons for a CD player and it didn't have a CD player. They just replaced. It was a Frankenstein.
What?
Yeah, you don't remember that? It had buttons for a CD player and didn't have a CD. It said CD forward, backward, no CD player.
Oh.
It was a fucking Frankenstein. My parents bought that shit after it had been demolished.
So what was the issue with the heat?
It just didn't work. It never worked.
Yeah, but why?
Don't know. It never worked.
Yeah, but there's a reason.
Probably because it was Frankensteined ass back together and they couldn't hook it up.
Either it didn't have coolant and it was just on the verge of overheating.
Oh, it had air. It had air conditioning, so it had coolant.
No, coolant and air AC are different systems.
Oh,
coolant and Freon.
Okay, yeah, Freon. That's what I meant. Sorry.
Coolant.
Yeah.
engine coolant.
It had engine coolant because I remember having to replace it on the side of the fucking road a couple times.
So that's probably part of it right there.
Yeah. Yeah.
Major coolant leak would definitely lead to no heat.
I think it was fucked, bro. But I don't know. I always hate, like, I love the holidays. I'm a guy that I love the holidays. I love Christmas. I love New Year's. I love all that stuff. And I always fucking hate it when it's over. So on top of that, in the week that it's over, my hero dies. Seriously,
Yes.
like my biggest influence.
This is the first week of the year.
This is the first week of the year. It's been a hard week, but this conversation, this episode right here, has made me feel so much better. I mean, God, man, you're my fucking my parents had me and 2 daughters. But you're my fucking brother, man.
You're my Grogu, man.
I love you
You are my
so
baby
much.
Yoda.
I'll take that. I will take that.
You were the best thing.
I'll be your Grogu to your Mando.
You were the best thing that has happened in my Star Wars saga in decades.
Same. I fucking love you, man, and I gotta say, I just absolutely cherish every fucking episode of this podcast that you're on. The episodes that you're on are some of the ones that I actually go back and listen to, because I just love hearing you so much.
I forgot about Darth Maul though, so number 2, best thing.
I'll take that.
But like
Number 2 to Darth Maul, I'll take that.
Like Darth Maul, Qui-Gon though, he was okay.
He was pretty good.
Yeah.
Mace Windu's supposed to be coming back.
Yeah.
That's a whole nother episode though. So we'll wrap
that's
this
like
one up.
fuck our friendship podcast. Like Mace Windu's coming back, Darth Maul's back, Grogu's here.
No, I mean, it
Boba Fett.
like, it's kind of weird. Like lately, I've been taking kind of like stock, I guess, of my relationships with certain people, and been like realizing, like, in a crazy way, what you all mean to me. Like you, Aaron, Preston, Josh, like you guys, but you in particular, man. Like you and I have spent more time together than any of them. And yeah, man. Like I don't know what I'd do without you. Like you are the yin. Look at us right now. Look how we're dressed. You see the yin and yang here?
I'm
like,
Santa.
He is the yin to my yang. Like we are in so many ways total opposites, but we are. In an emergency, there is nobody else I would call on, other than this guy right here.
Maybe the police or like 911.
Probably call you before that. Because you're
Depends-
closer. You're closer. You live closer.
Depends on the kind of emergency.
You live closer. So
If I broke my arm, I don't think you're gonna do much though.
you might be surprised.
I mean,
I'll get into that afterwards. But my point is, like, I was having. Today is probably the first day I haven't, like, basically woken up crying because of Alexi. And last night, all I could think about was, like, wanting to hang out with you. So I've been crying all week, dude. Like, it's been really hard. And last night I thought of you, and then you called me. Literally, I got home from work. I got out of the shower. I was sitting on my bed, still in towels, but I have the Bluetooth earbuds that are waterproof, so I listen to podcasts in the shower. And
Of course you do.
Of course I do. And so I had the fucking earpiece in my ear, still in towels, when I got back in my room at like 6:30 p.m.
Oh, that's why you were cursing when you answered the phone.
Yeah, well, when I
fuck,
answer,
fuck.
yeah. When I answer,
Can you hear me?
Yeah. When I answer and I have the Bluetooth, then I gotta switch it to the earphone from the normal phone. But so it's a pain in the ass. But like I was literally in the shower. I was like, as soon as I got out, I gotta text Jordan and see if he's down to do a podcast tonight or tomorrow.
That explains so much more about why you were fucking cursing.
Yeah.
Immediately. I thought you were just so mad that you accidentally answered my phone call. You were just like, oh shit, fuck.
No, dude.
Oh, can you hear me?
And I want
Damn it.
And I want you to know this. I want you to know this. Out of the people that call me on any kind of regular basis, when I see your name come up, it's an immediate. I have to answer this. Like if I see it, there's no like most people I ignore.
That's probably because I don't text, and that's the only way to talk to me. Actually,
It's just any time you communicate with me at all, I feel it. I get excited. I'm excited. Like I just always love hearing from you. And whether it's a simple joke text, whether it's, hey, come over and have a drink. Well, I don't care what it is. Like, I just always love hearing from you. And yeah, man, like you are the yin to my yang. You are my fucking heart. And, I don't know what I'd do without you. So, yeah, thank you for being on tonight. And, I fucking love you, man. Cheers.
Love you too. You will always be my best man.
And I was. That was one of my favorite experiences of my life. Still to this day, hands down, best wedding I've ever been to.
You just can't beat Mackinac.
No, that whole, even after like I was the last one standing and everybody else had gone to bed, the memory I have, or what I did that night. Did I ever tell you this? So after, because you remember we all went to the bar.
No, yeah. No, you.
Yeah, I told you this.
You've told me this.
Everybody went to bed. I still had a joint, and
gotta find a place to smoke it.
I literally I walked around the entire fucking hotel and could not find another human being.
I don't have a lighter.
I didn't have a lighter, and nobody was working.
Wait a minute.
How is nobody working? Like nobody. This is a hotel. Aren't you supposed to give us all a book of matches? Like what is this?
You don't have. There's no matches.
Nothing.
Well, at least there's a motherfucking fireplace.
What they did have was a fireplace. So I lit a joint in that fireplace.
I can just see you standing there.
There's security footage. There's got to be security footage.
Standing there probably 15 feet away, just like...
Realizing it.
Just the moment of realization. Because I know where the lobby is.
Yeah.
It's way over there.
Yeah.
And the fireplace on the way back to the stairs and elevator up to the room. And you're just like...
Yeah. Like, but here's the thing is I realized it, and then I was like, okay, let me just try to find somebody. And I walked around.
He won. I gotta find somebody first.
Yeah, I had to make sure that this is my only... I had to exhaust every possibility to light this joint.
I'm gonna light it in your fireplace if you don't. No.
Yeah.
Hello?
Yeah, I don't, dude. I kind of literally did that. Like...
Hello? Please help.
Yeah. I just stuck it in the fireplace.
Well, okay, I guess. Thank you.
I waited till it was on fire. I hit it to make sure it was lit. And then I booked it outside right, because the fireplace is right next to the doors.
Yeah.
So I just fucking booked it outside.
I know it because it's right next to the gardens where we smoked in.
Yep. And just strolled down to the beach.
So here's my question. How did we smoke without lighting? We had to have lit that.
You must have had a lighter or something.
I don't think I did.
I don't know. It was smoked blacks. And, I don't know. The Jean Blacks. I don't know how we... But, in any case, I didn't have a lighter. I lit that shit in the fireplace in the hotel lobby. Ran outside, walked down to the beach, and just listened to the waves, smoking a joint on the beach where you had part of your ceremony that day.
The last thing I remember from that day, actually physically remember, is the carriage ride.
Are you serious?
Yeah.
That was I don't remember any of the reception. I was gone during the reception.
That was...
I was double fisting that shit.
That was pre-reception. I do not remember getting back from the reception.
Were you already drunk? Oh.
I was drunk before I got married.
Yeah, we were drinking.
Yeah, that was your fault.
Yep, that's my bad. I got you to the altar drunk. Hey, that's my job as the best man, motherfucker. Get this motherfucker drunk so he goes to the altar.
I didn't walk out. Thanks.
That was such a great day, dude. Honestly, dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. In the year of quarantine, in the year of no concerts, in the year of all this and that, I've gone back through my photos on my cell phone many times just to feel better. And a lot of the ones that have gotten me to feel better are the ones I took at your wedding.
That was just a fun weekend.
Dude, I've been to many weddings in my life. Hands down, the best wedding I've ever been to was yours.
That's because it was literally about the three of us. That's why it was good.
What do you mean, three of us?
Okay, it was our wedding.
Christina.
Yeah.
She was the maid of honor.
No one cared about her. We literally stole her hotel room.
I mean, I did. I thought she was cool. She thought I was cool.
Yeah.
We had fun.
Yeah.
She was cool as fuck. I love Christina. But, I mean, haven't hung out with her since then because apparently she's, engaged now and all that, so.
I hate engaged people.
Yeah.
Married people are the worst.
Yeah. Hopefully I never get that. But anyway.
People that have kids.
Are you just describing all the things that you're about to be on are?
Yeah, they're awful.
Oh my God. Why? I'm sitting here trying
I'm drunk.
I don't even. Yeah, I don't know. We're not gonna get into that. Fuck
Moral of the story.
I fucking love you. That's the moral of the story.
I just got lost. I love you too.
In the dark. You just got lost in the dark, and I fucking love you. Thank you so much for being on tonight. This was an amazing conversation. This is gonna be an amazing episode. And yeah, man. That's all I got. We kind of believe aliens have been to Earth. That's where we're at. Maybe not.
50-50 shot.
That's where we ended up.
When you look up in the sky and you see something weird, maybe. Let me know.
But, yeah, anybody still watching right now? You're my fucking hero. I fucking love you. That's insane.
I'm so
Why
sorry.
would you listen to this? But for me, this is forever. And it's going to mean the world to me. It means the world to me already. So thank you all for watching. Thank you, Jordan. I hope you fucking get on here more now that we live so close. Yeah, that's it for this one. Second or third episode of the new year, everybody. My best friend, Jordan Jackson. Thank you, brother. But all right. I love you all to death. Good night!
I gotta get 20 seconds of room tone.
I gotta fucking pee.
Shh. We're gonna start the room turnover.
And there you have it. There you have it. Me, just two fucking best friends, just just having fun, just having a couple drinks on a Friday night, and just having some fun, shooting the shit and trying to make each other laugh and talking about fucking aliens. That was seriously just so tremendous fun for me. Tremendous fun every time I get to have him on. It's just everything the whole reason why I started this fucking podcast. So I love having him on every chance I get. He's not available often. He's a very busy man, but every chance I get him on. And it's just they always end up being some of my favorite episodes. I haven't gone back and watched this one yet because it just happened like yesterday, 2 days ago. I don't know. But I will, and I look forward to it. But if you're still seeing this right now, that means you just watched the whole fucking thing, and you are my fucking hero. Thank you so much. It really means the world to us that anybody would watch any of these. So if you're sitting here watching this right now and you enjoyed it, man, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It means the world to me. And just to let you know, we're not done yet this week. This is a big week for us. Tomorrow for me, Aaron and I are going to record the Filthy 15 episode, the best albums, our top 15 albums of 2020 episode drops later this week. We'll be recording it tomorrow. It'll be out late this week. But we are both very, very excited to get back on the mics and to just go off about our favorite albums of the year. It was a big year. It was a great year for record releases. A lot of them got delayed, but still, a lot of them did come out, and the ones that did are fucking bangers. So, the Mad Notes. So, we're really excited about talking about everything tomorrow. It's going to be a big episode. Might split it up into 2. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But in any case, that's going to be it for this one. Thank you all so much for watching. You mean the fucking world to me. You are the real motherfucking Crip Crow. And I fucking love you. So, but as always, we got a lot more coming. It's a big year. We're grabbing it by the horns. Even if it did have a shitty start, fuck it, right? Fuck it. Let's go. Come on. Keep moving. Keep moving. Do it for Alexi. And, but yeah, we got a lot more coming. But until next time, people, raise your fucking horns and bang your heads. We love you all to death. Good night.